welcome back to Pax Mithdosica. It's been a week. We had a Zednia solo session 2 days ago. Yesterday? No, it had to be 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. And that was fun. Zednius is alive. I guess that's sort of the tag for that. Nothing much else to say. Technically...
Not just alive.
He's
better.
Yeah?
Well,
Better?
I mean, like, he's got his powers back. He was worried for that.
Wait, what?
Oh.
What do you mean he's alive?
Let's just wait. Reintroduce him.
Yeah, true.
I thought he was pulverized. What happened, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Just go watch
I
it.
didn't watch the solo session.
Damn,
Watch the whole session or
unfortunate
just
for you.
wait.
True. He won't be back this session though, so technically his portrait is not accurate, but it'll just be like that. So, what we did last time was we were doing some long rest stuff because you guys have a rather lengthy long rest ahead of you. I watched the last 30 minutes of the VOD and took some notes on what you guys had done and what you were intending to do. What you eating, Hecko?
Oh, well, sorry, I was stirring my coffee.
Oh, okay. It's fine. I was just asking. It was nice ASMR. So, in order, Maximus sold a bunch of shit, made something like 6,000 gold pieces, so $6 million. And you had wanted to go at the end because you wanted to meet with the party, buy a bunch more stuff, and talk to the priest that Renesmee had run into at one point. Though I think that was 50% a meme comment, and also I don't think Maximus knows about that in character. No, he has to because Tullius said he would take care of it. Never mind. Actually, no, I don't know if he said that in front of other people.
I don't think that he did.
I think that's only I think only Renesmee, Tullius, and someone else. She told someone immediately.
Zednius.
Oh, Zednius. Yeah, Zednius. Okay. So yeah, those three know about it. I don't think it's well known in the party though.
Renesmee, Severus, and Granier are off together, right?
Correct, though they haven't left the city yet. And that sort of brings us to our second thing. Severus got some stuff identified, got some rituals. Are all the identified magical items? No, you gave them to the Department of Faith. Okay, then that leaves us with Peach. She started looking into the visions, and I think we got to step 1 in her 4-step plan. So we're just going to pick right up there. We talked about giants. We talked about the Atlian Mountains. We talked about a bit of history. So what do you got for us, Peach?
I sent you a little list the other day, so I'm on my way.
That list was about charges on Galerius, unrelated to this thing.
No. This thing. I wanted to learn sign language from Granny at 4 XP.
Oh, that list.
Yeah, erect a statue in the old town that the Feyduder was in to bring him honor and glory. Look into the pieces of the collective dream, which I think I did all 4 of.
Let's take a look. Does mage... Oh, yeah, you're right. We did get through all the collective dream stuff. So that leaves us with sign language and Feyduder.
Yeah, and I think we're going to learn sign language on our way to Feyduder.
Okay. Well, then. It is a 3 weeks of long rest. Oh, Severus. Near the end of this long rest, on like the second... What?
My level up. When do I get it?
You can start doing it now. It's 3 weeks of long rest, so if you have enough XP to level up, you can just do it whenever.
I do, yeah.
Great. Near the end of the long rest, Severus, you're going to receive a letter. But actually, no, we'll save that till the end. So, Renesmee, Grania, and Severus, the 3 of you are making your way out to a Fey village. Well, not exactly. A village with a Fey previously there. How much are you briefing these two on... how much are you briefing these two on this village?
Oh, essentially, I'll explain something to the degree of Maximus and I had to come out here to deal with some disturbances, and what we found was a Fey creature that was nourishing the land but was slowly dying, and because he was slowly dying, there were a lot of issues that were going on, and he decided for the good of the town to take his own life, which was very selfless of him. And with his death, he gave renewed vitality to the crops and to the plants there so that they may sustain that village for longer, which is an olive branch of peace from the Fae, and just really an honorable thing that they were willing to like lay down their lives for it. So we're gonna go there and basically erect a statue in their honor, because of their like really noble sacrifice.
Yeah, do you recall
Sounds
the
like
name of this
bigger vertical.
village? Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, it's a bit maybe. Do you remember what it's
I don't-
called?
No, not.
That's fine. I think Renesmee would. It was a thing of big importance. The name of the village is Nacilium, which I assume you share with the other two.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're
Severus.
telling us all
right.
this? You're not
Yeah,
putting any
yeah.
details out?
She's. I think my understanding. You were telling them all that in character, right, Peach? Like we're going here to set up this shrine, and there's this fae.
One moment. One moment.
Yeah, feel free to cut some things out, because like I said, this is very heretical.
I'm not gonna say the town that we're going to because you know why, Harkon.
Yeah. So all you mention
Say
is,
you're erecting
hey.
a statue?
Yeah. All you say is, hey. It's me, Severus, and Grania. The two of you are gonna come with me. We're gonna go honor a fae that tried to serve citizens of the Empire. Just a very
Okay.
upbeat,
Yeah,
positive thing.
When we get close to there.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We don't need to do that now.
Okay. Okay.
I do know why. Yeah, that's why I was asking.
I know why too.
So,
Oh no, they don't know why.
They don't know why.
No.
So about 3 days after the long rest has started, Grania, Renesmee, and Severus, the three of you, have sold all your shit in the town. You've acquired healer's kits for Grania. Severus, you spent a couple days in the library of the Department of Magic, finding ritual spells and copying them into your book. And now the three of you...
How many pots of arcane ink should I subtract? I forgot about that last time. It's two third-level spells.
In this context, none. The Department of Magic would provide them for you.
Oh, okay.
Do you
the three-
allow UA spells or no?
case by
pretty
case
sure.
basis.
Okay, read through now.
The three of you, sorry, get inside of a carriage. Actually, wait, do you guys have horses? Oh, you do have horses.
We do
Oh,
have horses.
did we cover your reunion with Nami? Because you finally got back to her.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's back in the mainland, so you can get your Nami back. Wow, so nice.
Oh,
so
I give
wholesome.
her a big hug, and I give her lots of pats.
Yeah, she's
I'm
been
like,
well cared for.
"Woo."
She was within the stables of the Department of Faith, so she was given the finest treatment a horse could receive.
Amazing, just what she deserves.
Yeah. Every time we have interactions with Nami, I just remember that you stole her from a random guy.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
So the three of you guys get on horses. Grania, it is a bit weird for you. You certainly didn't have any mounts inside the Feywood, so and you don't have land vehicles proficiency, right?
No, not
So yeah, you're not an adept rider at all. It feels weird for this to be riding atop a beast, trusting your everything to, the hands of another sentient creature. But you fall behind Renesmee, and you guys begin to travel southward. It takes about a day of travel to exit the province of Mythasia. But as judges, you can find it's not really a roadside inn, it's just like a nice guy's house, and you can say, hey, we're judges of the Empire, let us stay here. And he will say, yes, sir. And the second day, you can start traveling. You leave the Imperial Road. You start getting closer to your destination, Renesmee.
Mhm.
And you said there was something you were going to share?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
How far are we roughly?
You're about 13 miles from it, so another 4 hours of riding, 3 hours of riding.
Give me a 2-hour away mark.
Okay. You guys ride a bit further along these country roads, and, Severus, this is the province you're from, so these are, somewhat familiar country roads. They're actually very familiar. But you continue on for another little bit. And once you're about 2 hours out, Renesmee.
I think it's best that you both stay behind. Or at least Severus. I think that you should stay behind.
It's because I'm from here.
Well, we're going to Nacilium. That's the town that we went to go see.
What? Cilium?
Nacilium.
Cilium. Is that my hometown?
That is the village you were born in. Yeah.
The one where the dude wanted to put you in jail.
Well,
The one that you broke out of.
I could come with disguise if you'd like me to.
Oh! If you'd like to. I just
I
don't
mean-
want you to risk anything.
I mean, what would I be risking? I have nothing to fear from these people, do I?
I don't know, when you were assigned as judge, did anybody know about, and I'll lower my voice, your criminal past?
I say a bit like, love, like, ridiculing it. Criminal past, I mean, I don't think growing up as an orphan and stealing stuff is like, it's not like I was like a local gang member or anything like that.
I agree with you.
I'm not notorious or dangerous. I wasn't notorious or dangerous. I was a kid growing up on the street, desperate for money.
I agree with you, Severus, but from what Zednius was saying after I heard the stories from that dude that arrested you, he sees what you did as crimes in the worst degree, especially when you killed those guys. They were horrible, and I know because Zednius told me too that they were horrible, and you told me, but if you haven't been connected to that yet, and we show up and they figure out who you are, or they figure out who you are and what you are, a judge, I'm just scared that it'll come and bite you in the ass.
Alright, Hakon.
Yeah.
Is this a threat to my identity as a Frumentari?
Technically, yes, though it's in sort of a roundabout way. It's just that the only people that know you have any connection to this town would be the people living here. And as far as they're concerned, Severus disappeared with some stranger one day. So if they started babbling and saying, oh my god, this Severus guy is now a judge of the Empire, you know, maybe potentially someone could look into it, but that's like, it's hard to imagine that some small town sheriff could really get his voice heard on such a large scale.
So, realistically seen, if I come with, there shouldn't be any danger for me, right?
Well, you
Kill
are
for
still
the
wanted
vessel.
in the village. Like, that much is true.
Well, but I'm judge of the Empire.
Sure. You can try to throw around your weight, but it's not as if your previous crimes are, like, ignored or anything. Like, you broke
I
out
thought I
of
was
prison and all
pardoned.
that stuff. No, not
Did you just
never.
have
Not
this
officially.
you can use?
What'd you say?
He has disguised self. Just use that. We don't have to worry
Yep.
about it. then,
Well,
right?
it lasts
If
1
you-
hour, though.
Yeah. Well, they may not even recognize you. I mean, you're a grown-ass man. You were, like, 13. No, you're even
13.
younger than that. You're, like, prepubescent, I think, like 9 or 10, when you fled the village, so they may not even know it's you.
You're right. And just your profile picture is different.
I guess I'll stay outside the town.
It's up to you. I don't want to not have you come, but at the same time, I don't want you to get in trouble.
Yeah. I forgot that I technically wanted here, so no. Might as well stay outside.
Yeah, I mean, Grania, if you would like to stay with him, you can teach him sign language while I go deal with this matter. Or you can come
Okay.
with me.
I'll look at it and say, don't feel compelled to waste your time waiting outside with me. Like, I can take care of
You'll look back at Zednius and then look back at this man, smile, and start moving forward.
Severus.
Zednius, huh?
We're the same.
But
Is it
moving
the same
forward
person?
where? To the town?
Yeah, towards the town.
Got it. Okay, well, Grania's coming with me. Entertain
Severus,
yourself
you-
and don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, you hop off your horse, Severus, and head over towards nearby clusters of trees. And, knowing where you are now, you actually know the exact path you're on. The last time you were on this particular dusty road was when you were leaving Nasilium. It was actually not far from here. It was a couple miles to the west of here where you killed your first man. That, I don't know if you remember, but there was those four
yeah, the
deserters. Yeah, there was the archer in the tree, and then Tullius helped you kill the other three. It's also where you lost your hand back in Nasilium. There's a lot of not the most pleasant memories associated with this particular stretch of wilderness. And Renesmee and Grania continue westward. Rain's coming down, as is common in spring within Sedalia, and you guys can approach the small hamlet of Nasilium. Since, Grania, it's your first time seeing it. It's a small farming hamlet, maybe 50 buildings, 2 stone buildings, a constabulary. I'm going to restart that whole sentence. There's 2 stone buildings, a constabulary, there we go, and a local magistrate's office, which would be the quaestor's building, the ruler of the town.
Okay. It's a lot bigger than the little town that Helpy was.
Yeah, that didn't
Nice.
have any stone structures. And there's a large agricultural area, though even you, as someone with a slight amount of agricultural knowledge, more so, you're more on the plant side, but you do know a bit about agriculture. This place looks sickly. The fields, which at this time should be getting sowed, you should have people planting things.
Wait. The last time that I was here, I did plant growth twice.
You did do plant growth twice, yeah.
Oh, okay. And it still looks like shit?
Yes. The crops look sickly. There should be little green sprouts all across the fields. Instead, you see 1 or 2 green sprouts every, couple feet, where there should be a small little forest of them. And you can
That
see.
almost makes me think someone dispelled it, because that should be lasting for a year. Because I have the same thing.
And you see farmers where at this time of the year, farmers shouldn't really be too aggressive in the fields. They can largely just let it grow at the beginning, but now you can see they're crawling with local farmers, even as it rains, trying to plant more things or hoeing up the existing crop to plant new ones. And as the two of you approach on horseback, a constable, which constable is not like an official, it's certainly not a rank. It's not even like a police officer. That gives it too much credit. It's basically just a local villager who sometimes moonlights as a police officer. That's basically what a constable is. And he will saunter on over as Rain, pelts his heavy cloak, which he has wrapped up around his shoulders. He has a truncheon at his waist, and he'll look up at the two of you and say, "Hello, travelers. Who exactly are you?"
I've seen him before, yeah?
Yeah, he was not the magistrate. He's not the constable captain you spoke to before in the whole Fae thing. He's just underling. But yes, you've seen him before.
Ah, I believe I recognize you. I was here working with the constable captain a couple of months back.
You're that. Oh, he gives a sort of bow. I apologize, Lady Judge. Didn't recognize you with the rain and the cloak and all.
No problem.
What's brought you back? Have you come to help us with the crops?
We were just passing through. I'm shocked to see that the crops aren't yielding.
It's a real tragedy. The constable, he said that, you did something, but I guess whatever it is, it didn't work. No, nothing's seeming to stick in those fields.
I'll shake my head in disbelief and be like, that's not possible.
Well,
Rania's gonna tap her Nesby on the shoulder and sign the word magic.
I'll slowly nod my head and be like, well, I suppose before, we continue on our way, I can just investigate it a little bit further and see why the magic failed here.
Oh, much appreciated. I can go, fetch the constable. He's probably out in the field trying to help the farmers get something to stick.
Of course. And when was it that you noticed that the magic wasn't sticking?
Oh, about a month ago when we started the first planting. I'm no farmer, though. I can get one of them if you'd like to speak to. And I'm sure Constable Galerius would be more than happy to talk to you about it.
Of course. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
And he'll sort of begin to walk through the village, and the people who aren't out in the fields, which is mostly children, that's about it. They will look at you from within homes or underneath awnings and things such as that. With the miserable weather, there's not much for them to do. And you can clop through the streets until eventually you'll be brought out towards one of the smaller patches. It's sort of like a private pumpkin patch, probably owned by the Quaestor or some other landowner. And out there you can see Constable Lieutenant Galerius, the old man that you met last time, and several other farmers. And they don't seem to actively be working. They're sort of standing under an awning, looking out at the field, clearly probably postulating, talking. And the constable will sort of clear his throat, and Constable Lieutenant Galerius will glance over. He'll seem to recognize you, give a bow, and pull a cloak over his shoulder and walk out into the rain towards you. Lady Judge, welcome back.
Thank you. No need. May I enter? No need for you to get wet.
Oh, of course. And he'll begin, sort of shoo the farmers out from underneath the awning next to the building, and you can dismount from Nami, and the constable will take the reins of Nami as well as Grandia's horse, and the two of you can join Constable Lieutenant Galerius in the sort of this stoop extended out from the building.
Granny's pretty short. How easily does she dismount?
Maybe she needs a bit of help. I mean, there are stirrups, so she can put her weight on those, but it's definitely an awkward affair.
Okay.
Constable Lieutenant, we were just passing through the city, and I was shocked to see that you were plants are not sticking. The magics that were sown into this land have not worked.
Doesn't seem like it. It's, we've never seen anything like this. I, sent a letter to the Department of Magic a week ago, but we haven't gotten any response yet.
And what's happened exactly?
It just doesn't grow. I'm
Did it
no
grow
expert,
all right?
but from the men that I've talked to, typically in a planting, we get about 2 failures in every 50 plants. You know, it's random things. A bird swoops down, gets the seed before it germinates. Perhaps it's just in a bad piece of soil. Maybe the seed died and rotted while it was in storage. This year, we've gotten about 48 failures for every 50.
Wow. And this has been since the planting, most recently, since you dug up last year's
It's been about
crop,
3
the
weeks,
crop.
yeah.
And after the magic was imbued into the ground, it did produce.
Well, it was winter. All we had was some winter wheat, but I suppose the winter wheat grew well enough. I mean, it was already planted and growing by the time you'd left.
And there were no issues with that.
No, I mean, it was a bit more stunted than usual, but that's not entirely odd. It's been a cold winter.
Do you have a farmer that I could speak to about this, just in case they have more knowledge that they could give me? I've never even heard of
Yeah,
this kind of magic not working.
And he sort of whistles out towards the 3 farmers that he was talking to. They're out now, like crouched down next to the field, but the 3 of them will walk over, and the constable will wave 2 of them off and say, "No, Titus, you, come here." And the man will walk over. He's middle-aged, pretty skinny build. He clearly isn't getting a lot of extra nutrients. He has like a 5 o'clock shadow, and he has very concerned look on his face, and he'll sort of walk into the awning away from the rain and give a nod at you, and the constable will say, "This is the lady judge who assisted us with that monster coming in from the woods a couple of months ago." And he sort of looks at Grania and says, "Is this another judge?"
Yes.
And then her companion. And the farmer will give a bow to both of you.
Well, what can you tell me about what's been happening with the crops here?
Well, if I didn't know better, I'd say we were being sabotaged. Failures like this don't happen through any natural process that I'm aware of. It's almost like someone salted the soil. The plants that do grow are blighted and spindly. Even if we managed to get the things to germinate, we'd probably have a crop epidemic that'd kill everything in the city. It's like we've been cursed.
And it's been in the last 3 weeks that this has happened.
Well, last 3 weeks. Really, it's just the first planting of the year. I mean, it takes a while for the seeds to germinate. We only really realized there was a problem a week ago when we had so few things popping out of the soil.
Has anything else strange been happening alongside this?
He shrugs. I heard one of the lumberjacks say that some saplings they planted last year haven't grown as tall as they're meant to be, but that could just be due to the cold winter or decreased rainfall.
Interesting. And anything... Then I'll turn to Constable Lieutenant and, I'll look at him and the farm and be like, anything else that's strange, even outside of just the way the plants are behaving?
Constable
Anything off
will
at
shake
all?
his head. No, since you killed that ravenous beast, we've been mostly safe. There were no further attacks on our granary. Food supplies got us through the winter. We were just fine. No spottings of anything bigger than a wolf.
Granny is going to tap her Nesby on the shoulder sign. She'll spell out Severus and then the word magic, eyes, look, plant.
I see. Well, we actually have another companion resting. I believe that he might be able to aid our investigation here. I mean, we won't have much time as we're just passing through, but, of course, I care for the people of your town. as I
Any
care
aid
for all
that
of
a
us
judge of the
residents.
Empire can grant us will be appreciated.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry the Department of Magic hasn't gotten back to you. It's a shame. I'll go fetch him then, and we'll see what we can do in our time here.
All right. He looks at the field. I'll just wait for you at the constabulary. No need for you to come out to the muddy fields again.
Mm-hmm. We may want to come back out to the muddy fields just to do our own poking around.
All right, then.
And then we will meet you. Yes.
And
yeah,
he
we'll
will-
go and fetch Severus.
Yeah, he'll go sit down on a crate. The two of you will mount back up on horseback, which the constable will, hand over the reins to your horses, and you'll ride out of the town. And Severus, you've set up a small little fire for yourself in the like next to the tree, and what have you been doing to pass the time? It's going to be 4 hours until they return. So what are you doing during
I'm
that time?
trying to hunt myself a meal.
Yeah, you can get a rabbit very easily. You're exceedingly. Wait, do you have any range weapons? I guess your daggers, right?
His bow.
Short bow with
Oh, I
mithril
forgot you had a
arrows.
short bow. Yeah, you can easily hunt a rabbit. So,
Wait,
about.
but if that takes a mithril arrow that permanently breaks, I will not use my
Well,
arrows.
do you want to roll a d2?
Yes.
All right, let's see.
I'd
Do you
rather
roll
try
an
with a
arrow, or
dagger.
do you lose an arrow, or
Wait, no, I'm saying if there's a chance my arrow breaks from just hunting a rabbit,
there is?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try with my dagger instead.
Oh, okay, yeah, you
Throw
can.
a
Hunt,
dagger.
that's easy enough. Yeah. So about 3 hours and 55 minutes later, you hear the sounds of two horses approaching from the west at a pretty rapid pace. You got your rabbit cooking on the fire still. You've already cut off its skin and just sort of meat rotating over the flames. And
This
after,
is technically poaching, right?
yeah, you're a judge of the empire. That's what it is. People, judges do much worse things than poaching.
I forgot that that's like even a law.
A thing, yeah. You don't know the exact plan breakdown. Maybe this is common property. Who knows? But then Renesmee and Grania will ride along the path, and they can't see you, but you can see them. Actually, they probably see the smoke from your fire, so they can trot into the clearing where you've set up your little campsite.
Yeah. As I recognize
Severus.
them, kind of light up. Well, you're back soon.
We're back to grab you. We.
Oh,
It's so
I was
strange.
just making food. But you don't eat meat, right?
I do.
Oh. How about you, Grania? Do you eat meat?
That's a hard question. I don't know if I ever ate meat.
In the Feywood, they have no prohibition. It's a natural, wild, violent place. Things eat things.
Probably, yeah. I don't think she prefers anything.
People
so
eat
she-
people as well. Okay.
True.
She'll just try
Grania
Wagon
is a
place.
cannibal.
Yeah, you can cut off small little pieces of the cooked rabbit and lift
Make it
it
a little
up.
stew, maybe.
Yeah, sure. That'll take some additional time.
Yeah, can I like do this stew with a campfire without having to attend it for like an hour? or
Yeah,
two?
yeah, sure. You can break up, the rabbit into some chunks, toss it in a little tiny metal pot that you bring with you, and put some water in, like rainwater. You get a nice little stew bubbling.
Yeah, and then I'll make sure there's no risk of fire proliferation while we're gone, and head back. I'll head with them.
Yeah,
Well, I haven't explained what we need you for yet.
True.
Oh, well, if you say you need me, I assume that it's important enough for
Yeah.
me to go.
Of course it is. Essentially, we got there and the strangest thing happened. I performed plant growth there, and I've never, ever, ever seen it not work. But we got there and nothing was growing. It was like, they said that it was like someone had salted the earth, or had cursed it. Personally, I think it's because the Fae that had been watching over it for so many years had died.
You think
But-
that might have an adverse effect on the growth?
Absolutely. He had nourished the plants here for his entire life. It was just unsustainable for him to continue his life.
I'm not
Um,
sure I'm much of an expert on plant growths.
Well, it's supposed to enrich the soil and the crop yield for a year. A whole year. It's only been, 3 months? And the winter wheat was fine. They got some harvest out of it, but now this most recent sowing in the spring, it's not working. It's like a 48 failure out of 50. It's terrible. So we want you to go in there to basically flash your magic eyes, and I suppose we're just gonna see if it's something to do with a magic or a curse, or just his disappearance from this land. If they can't grow food here and they're not getting supplies, we're gonna need to move this town. They almost died last year. This year is looking to be worse.
What do you mean, move this town?
I mean, they would have to find new homes if they couldn't get food.
What about trade? Can't they just import the food?
I believe, if I'm correct, Harkon, that
Yeah.
last year they weren't able to do that because a lot of people in this area were having shortages.
Yeah, last year's winter was especially harsh, so there wasn't a lot of food available. The other problem is that this is an agricultural town, meaning it has no money. Necilium's out of the way of any major trading routes. Its only product is a little bit of timber and food. So if it doesn't have food, it won't have enough money to, import it. It's just not financially viable for the village to exist anymore. Like you said, they'll just have to leave.
Yeah. So
Unfortunate.
that's what it's looking like. I
Like,
know
I
this
can
is
look
where you
over it,
grew up.
but I'm not sure I can do much.
Yeah, I suppose, well, if we find out that it's a curse or something, then maybe we can, do something about that, but otherwise,
Well,
I'm not sure.
I've no magic that can lift curses.
I
but
have magic that can dispel magic, but it depends what strength it is.
Yeah,
Well, nonetheless.
we'll look into it.
Yeah,
Let's just see what we see, I guess.
I agree. I'll hop on my horse now.
Yeah, you ride on back. At this point, this will be burning through the last bit of daylight as you return to the town. The sun will begin to sink low, and by the time you get there, the desperate attempts to, sow as much and figure out the problem has concluded, and most of the townsfolk are just, in their personal homes or with, out in small little groups around public braziers or things like that. Outside the constabulary, one of the constables is just on duty sitting. And Severus, as you see Necilium again, it's a weird experience. One, obviously, it feels much smaller. And secondly, it always seemed a lot bigger, not in physical size. Yeah?
Sorry, before I enter the town, I want to cast Disguise myself on myself.
What are you going to disguise yourself as?
I'm gonna disguise myself as just someone, similar height, similar build, everything. Just, a
May I
bit
suggest something?
paler skin, darker hair, a bit shorter hair, human.
May I suggest something before you disguise yourself?
What?
We're gonna be in there for much longer than an hour. Maybe even
Oh.
overnight, as the sun is going to set. I think that it's better if you just obscure yourself strangely.
Not
Also, I
quite
will
sure I
advise
have
that since it's
tools for
raining,
that.
it's going to be somewhat obvious that you're disguised.
Oh,
It would
so
be
true.
help if you're paying attention.
If someone asks you to take off your hood for whatever reason, not that they would question someone that's with two judges, but then you could mutter your incantations and look different. But I wouldn't bother just doing it for an hour if you don't have to show yourself.
Yeah, I guess for now I'll just yeah, I'll just try, I guess.
Do you have a cloak?
Well, my old trusty one that, I've been using, but I don't think they know that one around here.
Good. Let me go through my inventory and see if I can. I mean, I have like fancy clothes from back in the day.
Do you have a hair
Those
tie?
stylish. Can I say that I have a hair tie? I do my
Yeah,
hair
it's
ties
reasonable enough.
sometimes.
Like a little ball, like a tiny little piece of rope or like some yarn or something simple like that.
Yeah.
I'll tie my hair in a in a regular ponytail behind my head. That should make me look somewhat different.
Sure.
That's good. And sorry, I'm just looking at what I have in my inventory that can help disguise you too. I'm assuming that you're gonna have to make a goddamn roll on this.
Maybe.
What?
The three of you begin to clop into the city, and Severus, you're kind of struck by how much smaller it is, again, both in physical scale and also the actual size of the village. Just when you were younger, it felt like this was the center of the world. It felt, almost everyone here. Even as you
Yeah.
clop down through the city, it's a weird experience of looking to your left and seeing, you can see the smoke rising up from the chimney of Antilius's house, and inside through a window you can see Antilius and a young girl presumably his daughter. And, as you approach the constabulary, you see, what's his
The
name?
alchemist speaking once again.
See what?
Nothing.
Oh, misspeaking. Ah, yes, of course. My classic misspeaking. You see, what's his name? There's a name for this constable. Janice. You see Janice, that old, who's it? He used to be a constable when you were a young man, and it looks like he hasn't gone much further. And he's just sitting on the front porch of the constabulary, and as the three of you continue to clop through the city streets and get closer, he glances up at the three of you, and he will stand up and, not quite walk out into the rain, but walk to the edge of the front porch and say, "Lady Judge, have you brought back your companion?" And he sort of squints through the darkness.
Yes, we'll be on our way to the fields. Do you have somewhere that we could stay at night? What time is it?
It's nearing nightfall. Like, there's the last bits of sun dropping down, and the constable, which Severus, only you know his name, the constable will say, "Oh, there's no one else out the fields right now. All the farmers have gone home for the evening. I can rouse the constable. He's taking a nap."
We don't need help to the fields. We just want to investigate a bit.
All right, then.
And if we had if there's an inn or something of the sort that we could stay in,
Nothing
if
like
the home
that.
is open?
But the quaestor could put you up for the night. I'm sure he'd be more than willing. Or he could ask any of the townsfolk. I mean, no, hell, even I'd put you up. Oh, sorry for cursing.
No, it's all right. Are any of the townsfolk? Well, who has the resources to open up their home to us? We don't want to be an overdue burden on any families.
Overdue burden?
Yes, if there's a quaestor that has a spare bedroom, but we don't want to go into a family
Oh,
home and,
I don't
force
know.
the
I'll
kids
just go
to,
ask the quaestor, and he, steps down from the steps of the
Do I
front
know
porch.
the quaestor in this town?
Yeah, the one that was the quaestor when you were a young boy was, he'd only been assigned to the village for 2 years. He was Quaestor Publius. He was an old guy, like 67, like on the brink of death.
This guy I stole from?
Yes, I believe. Let me double check. I have it somewhere. I just had
Is
it
this
up and then I
from the
closed it.
Publius Cloister that we dealt with?
No.
No, unrelated, I assume.
Who exactly did you steal from? It is
think we
him.
said a
Yeah.
senator? Oh,
You
what's
did
the
steal
quaestor?
from him. Yeah, you stole from
Uh-oh.
the quaestor, and then that was the hand chopping incident. I think your wrist just starts to instinctively throb at mention of the quaestor.
Yeah, I think I'm just nervous and trying to.
Yeah, but the constable didn't recognize you. He had literally, as a young man, he had put you in a cell, beat you half a dozen times. There's no recognition in his face, as he squints through the darkness at you, and
Well, I do look quite different. And I assume I
Yeah.
carry myself somewhat differently too.
And you're with the judge of the empire. Why would an old young criminal be with the?
Yeah,
Or
it's
why
been
would an
such a
old
long time.
young criminal from the olden days be with a criminal, or be with a
The
judge?
only thing
I
I'm
think that
gonna
makes
try
sense.
and I'm not gonna try and talk as little as possible,
Okay.
and slightly change the tone of my voice.
Yeah, the constable will head down from the porch. He'll pick up a lantern, which will sort of light the street, and he'll walk down the steps, and you guys will approach the only nice building. It's the only stone structure other than the constabulary. And there's lights inside. There's, as far as you can tell, only one servant, and he is tending to a supply shed, looks like on the right-hand side. And as you see him, he sees you approach, he walks over. And you guys are so used to, the really wealthy people of the Empire who employ master servants, and these people go to school for years. This is not that. This is just, a servant, which is just a guy that you hire to, handle your stuff. And he doesn't have much etiquette to him. He doesn't have, the fixed back posture. He's just a normal-looking dude, and he'll sort of give a wave at the constable and then give a bow to you, Renesmee, and say, "Greetings."
Hello. We're just passing through town, and we figured that we would stay a night and try to investigate some things in town.
Oh, sure. I'll go ask the quaestor.
Yes, that'd be great if you could put us out.
All right. His daughter's out of town at the moment, so I know there's a spare bedroom.
Oh, perfect. That would be great. Thank you.
And he walks over, and while he's going to do that, the constable will sort of pull himself under constable will just walk up onto the front porch, and he'll just wait, and eventually the servant will exit, and exiting alongside him is a middle-aged man. You know, he's in like his mid-30s. He's a pretty handsome guy, though he has a bit of a limp to his left leg, some sort of injury. And he will look out at the three of you on horseback and say, "Well, of course, you can stay. I'd be happy to extend a dinner invitation to you all if you're going to be spending the night."
Oh, thank you, but we've already eaten on our way here.
Granny
Perhaps...
will pour Nesme's cloak.
Hearing that, I'll go like, fuck! I left the stew out the campfire.
Oh, shit.
I left the stove on.
Well, let me just say that Textus here can fix you a very fine stew.
Oh, goodness. Well, how about we get into our room, we get settled, and then...
All
we'll
right.
come down for
Well-
a bite, perhaps.
My wife and daughter are away at the moment, so there's the bedroom and then the living room available to the three of you. It's 2 beds and a couch.
Ah, perfect. I'll sleep on the couch, and you two can take the beds.
All right, let me come show you around. I suppose introductions are in order. I was away from the city during your last visit, so I only heard second-hand accounts, and he sort of hobbles his way down the steps and extends a hand out towards you.
I'll shake his hand, and I'll be like, Renesmee de Faldra Fabricia, very nice to meet you. I'm happy to recount what happened the last time I was here, if you're curious, later.
Every person I talked to for about a month afterwards told me their perspective of the story. I think I've heard it from just about every perspective except for yours. And that other judge you were with, and he gestures towards Severus. Is it this one?
No, I'm Marcus.
Ah,
Marcus? Well, you don't quite match the rumors anyway, so I suppose it makes sense. They had indicated the other judge was quite tall and brawny.
yes, he was. That was Judge Maximus. And this here is Grania, but she's...
He'll
hard
extend
of
a hand
speech.
towards Grania.
She'll just stare at it.
All right then, I'll try not to take offense. And he'll walk.
It's nothing. She doesn't mean any harm by it. She's very friendly.
All right. And he'll limp over to you, Severus, and extend a hand up to you. This is certainly not the previous Quaestor. Some new fella.
Yeah, you know. Well, I guess I'll be a bit less tense and go. I'm Marcus.
A good name. A strong name. That's my brother's name, in fact. Quite common these days. And he'll shake your hand. Say, well, I'm Quaestor Aurelius Publius. Please, come on inside. We don't have a stable or anything like that, but we do have a post that you can tie your horses to.
Wait,
if you're not worried
Aurelius
about them.
Publius. Is this the son of the Quaestor I stole from?
That would make sense.
Did I ever meet his son? Or remember his son?
No, you never met his son, nor the rest of his family. And you guys can tie up your horses. The servant will assist in that, and the Quaestor will bring you inside. Within, it's a pretty, from Renesmee's perspective, it's a quite humble estate compared to those that you've seen in Mythasia or Rivinium, all these great cities of the world. But it's definitely the largest building in the whole town. It's 8 rooms on the first floor, 4 rooms on the second floor. Plenty of room, and you guys can sort of unload some of your equipment since you don't really need it to go look out at the field. And he'll, introduce those spaces to you, and you can see as you're walking down the hall of the second floor, and he's bringing you to the guest bedroom. You can see a couple artifacts. There's a old sword, a very well maintained steel sword. There is a shield, and there is a folded up purple cloak. And he'll sort of open the door to the guest bedroom, and I suppose that'll be the 2 of you, and he points at Granny and Severus, staying in here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not having dinner here, right?
Granny will once again pull on Renesmee's cloak.
I'll look at them and be like, are we hungry for dinner?
She'll rapidly nod her head yes.
I look at Severus.
Sorry, what did she say?
I asked if you're okay for dinner. Renesmee's concerned, or she's trying to convey, she doesn't want you to feel uncomfortable because she doesn't want you to be recognized. She wants to make sure that you're okay with it.
No, I mean, what was Granny's deal?
She said yes
She's
to
hungry.
dinner.
Oh, she's hungry. Oh.
You could say that you're not hungry, if you want.
Yeah, I'll just say. Yeah. You guys go and have eating.
Well,
All
I'll
right.
have Textus fix up at least one portion. And you can all look out at the field. Oh, two.
2
All right,
portions, yes.
Will do. And he'll head downstairs. Your horses are to be taken care of by the servant, and you guys can all head out to the street. Severus, how do you feel about not being recognized by anyone so far?
I feel like a double-edged sword. At one point, of course, I'm like relieved that nothing's going wrong, but at the same time, it feels eerie. Like I almost feel like a stranger in my own like home.
Yeah.
I'm kind of realizing how this isn't really my home anymore.
Yeah.
I always consider like, yeah, this is where I'm from, this is my home, but like, it isn't really. I would just stay here for a while. Now I'm not here anymore.
Yeah. You guys walk along the only cobbled street of the town, and then out into a dirt pathway, and you can head towards one of the fields. There's a lot. I mean, it is a agricultural town with farmhouses sprawling out in all directions, but they all seem to have pretty similar conditions, so you can just go to the closest one. This is a small, what looks to be, looking at the sprouts, you would guess potato, and Severus, I mean, you know what sort of crops they grow here. You'd guess, either some sort of root vegetable. Maybe, it's hard to tell considering how small the sprouts are, but there's only 2 of them in a large patch that contains well over, you could easily plant over 150, 200 plants here. And there's 2 little sprouts totally isolated in the field.
Is there anybody with me right now?
Yeah, that means you and Renesmee. Or you, Renesmee, and Grania.
Oh, you see, it's so strange.
I'll say a bit quietly. Any of you have anything I can sit on for a bit? I want to sit on the muddy floor. Any
what?
like a picnic blanket type deal?
Oh,
Maybe? I don't know.
I have
It's
like
fine if
a
not.
A bedroll?
my bedroll, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll out your bedroll. It's just a cushy piece of cloth to separate you from the hard dirt, and you can roll it out on the edge of the field. It's a little bit muddy, and Severus, you can sit
As
down
she
on
talks
it.
about a bedroll, I immediately realized that Maximus has been carrying mine, and I forgot to retrieve it for him. So I'm
Yeah.
without mine on this travel.
Unfortunate.
Your bedroll is gone.
I'm also
What
out of
happened to
rations
it?
as well. But
I'm not sure, but I don't.
have
it's
it
fine.
anymore?
it's fine.
It's
I have more than enough money to
lost to
get a new one.
oblivion.
True. You sit
Oh,
down
no,
on the
never
bedroll
mind.
and start to. Oh, he has it. There we
Oh,
go.
Nope, that's mine. Never
Oh,
mind.
okay.
It's fine.
It's gone.
It's fine.
You start to ritually cast
Wasn't
detect
touched
magic.
yet.
You are, the farmer whose property you're sitting next to will, he briefly opens his door to squint out towards the field, but a second after he starts squinting, he closes the door again and goes back inside. And
It's probably kind of spooked out.
yeah, and 10 minutes later, your eyes start to glow. And detect magic is pretty obvious even during the daytime. At nighttime, it's pretty freaky. You almost look like a cleric of some sort with just these, glowing eyes in the dark.
What color
And
do they glow?
just blue for almost everybody. It's like a sort of consistent
Feel whitish
arcane blue.
And
yeah.
clerics are usually golden or depending on the
Well,
deity,
for
I think.
Aurelian
Depending
Soul,
on
yeah.
Yeah.
There are gods with glowing blue eyes, so it is a little bit spooky. But yeah,
we
you,
saw the Makai cleric had the blue eyes, right? Or
True.
teal.
Yeah. You overlook the field, and there is not a spell on it. But I'm going to double check something, because I think Detect Magic sees this.
I don't think desecrated areas are seen with that.
Never
That's
mind.
why you-
There is nothing on this field.
That's more like a paladin type thing.
Yeah, there's nothing on this field. No magic. But there should be magic here. That's the thing. There should be a plant growth, but there is not.
Right. I guess I'll walk around, walk the entire field, be thorough,
Yeah.
and once I'm fairly sure that nothing's magic here at all. Actually,
I think you do notice that the 2 little sprouts that are above the soil, those have this very, very faint signature of what is it? It would be transmutation.
that would be plant growth, I believe.
Plant growth is indeed
Presumably?
transmutation, yeah.
Okay. I don't know how much I know about druid magic since I haven't really studied it.
I think plant growth is available to wizards, right?
Pieces.
I feel like it
Huh?
is. Oh,
Is
druids, rangers, and bards. So if it's available to bards, you probably would have learned about it, just because bard is more like an arcane caster.
Yeah. And I've probably picked up bits and pieces of like just talking about it with Renisme at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
But the signature is well below, like, a 3rd level spell has, like, a fixed level of intensity when looking upon it. This is, like, a wisp, like an after effect or something.
okay. I'll return back to Renisme, turn off the detect magic, and go. Well, there is magic here, but it's weird.
What's weird about it?
Well,
Negative
you see
magic.
those? Do you see those 2 small plants over there?
I'll squint and be like, yeah, I think, yeah.
Those are definitely affected by a plant growth.
Oh.
The entire rest of the field. Dim
Oh.
is a blown out candle.
Oh.
I think whatever creature was here, that its death, either something came after it and filling the power vacuum, or just its death over here did something real bad to the nature around here. I'm not sure if you can like... I've heard of druids that can talk to nature spirits, or maybe like even commune with the nature itself. I'm not sure if that's within your repertoire. I can try to identify a singular
character?
plant.
Yeah, out of character, I haven't been able to level up. I think maybe that's a 5th level spell.
I believe communion with
But-
nature is a 5th level ritual spell for druids.
Yeah, I don't have my 5th levels yet, so maybe in a bit. I just don't
It's a
feel
really
like...
cool one.
Yeah, I'll speak in Renesmee now. I just don't feel... I've heard of that too, but I don't feel like I have the power within myself to... I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Is Grania here with this conversation?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Grania's gonna sign. I make plant grow Severus look.
It'll
Okay,
take
I'll
8
look- I'll
hours
look at that.
if you use plant growth like I did.
You can cast plant growth?
She'll not. Although I don't know if she knows anything spell, but she knows she can help the plants.
Okay. Well,
Well,
try
Renesmee tried it already, so
but you can observe it with your magic eyes, yeah?
I can try observing it, sure.
See if it like
The
sinks
casting is
into
going
the
to take quite a
soil.
bit. The thing I'd like to do first, before you do that, I'd like to just take a small part of the plot somewhere here and try to cast Identify on it. Maybe that'll result something, because if it's enchanted or under the effect of anything right now, or even created by a spell, something here, then maybe I can feel something here.
Got it. Yeah, try it.
So I'll just kneel down in the dirt at some nondescript spot, not the one that has the plant growth affecting it. Now try casting Identify. I'll post it in the chat to see if it doesn't say anything but desecrating stuff.
Yeah,
so
Identify is an
doesn't do
interesting
either.
spell because its general use is very obvious, but uses like this. Now, a plot of soil, not an object, but yeah, you can touch the earth, so you're basically identifying the dirt in this area. And I think that the most I can give you is that it is afflicted by something similar to the Bestow Curse spell. That is the best I can give you.
Well, that's already very helpful. Right. Finish my casting, I'll look over to Garnet and Renesmee and say, well, I think your guys' suspicions might be right. Something that feels somewhat similar to cursing. Directly cursing something that's affecting this. Maybe there's a general curse in this area. Maybe there's some otherworldly influence. I'm not quite sure. It's not exact.
His death could have cursed it. Or he could have cursed it himself in his death.
He was a fae, right?
Yes, but he was kind. He wasn't trying to hurt anyone. In fact, he was
Yes,
trying
I'm
to
just
save
saying.
everyone.
Grania, you know a bit about fae, right?
Why would Grania know about Faye?
Wait, sorry. Did she ever reveal anything about her knowledge to the
No.
Fair Ties at all?
Nope.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
there's some little bits I think you could pick up on. She sketched the thing.
Well, I
like
wasn't
she's-
there
I
for
saw
that.
that.
You weren't? I thought you were at the dining table where they were sketching.
I think it
that
was
prior.
just
Yeah, but I
Sorry.
was busy with Maximus.
Oh, okay. What are some
I
other
know
little
more
hints?
than anyone, but I'm still like, I just think that she saw a weird Fae thing once.
Yeah, she said she was from Pelty, which is
Oh,
near
yes,
the
knows.
Feywood. I think those are the two major things, though. Yeah, so I guess there's not that many.
And I guess how she
incident-
acted around the on the island. I don't know if Severus was there.
Oh,
when they
yeah,
did
there's also that,
guide
yeah.
ritual.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think it's been
wasn't
too
there either.
obvious.
Yeah, you could just ask her if she knows about Faye.
So yeah, all I'll say is like, well, I'm not sure if the death of Faye could affect this. We've met that one friendly tribe Faye once that you did the ritual for in this May. But other than that, I don't know anything about Faye. Granny, you said you can do
I
something
grew-
with plant growth. Do you have anything more than that? I mean, of course we could try replant growthing this.
I
But-
grew up with a Fae, with a little fairy.
You grew up with a Fae.
Kind of. When I was captured in the depths of the Deadwood with the Necromortis, there was a fairy that I befriended that spent my years of captivity with me, and she was actually the one that led me in my dreams to the forest spirit that granted me my druidic powers. But none of that would help with this situation.
How
I
long
haven't
did you
heard
live in
much
the
about it.
Deadwoods?
Huh?
I'm sorry, you don't really talk about this too often. How long did you live in the Deadwood for?
Yes.
All I know is that you were a judicial duelist and that you were captured by the Necromortis at some point.
Yeah, in the Deadwood.
How long were you in there?
Years. Long enough.
Like, how old are you? Because time flows differently there, right? You don't look
Oh,
a year older than 20, so...
I'm 24, thank you.
Oh. Well,
I don't think that time went weird. I guess I don't really know, but I don't think so. But nonetheless, this is irrelevant, you know, the fairy.
yeah,
The fairy
sorry.
understands it.
I didn't mean to get into... I'm not meant trying to question you.
Yeah. The fairy that I grew up with, I don't think that any of that information would be relevant. I think that the best thing we might be able to do is to find someone that understands more about curses. We should probably define the area that this is affecting. How far does this go? Are there other towns here that are being affected? And then can we bring in help to figure out what it is and how to uncurse it?
Hakon, does this place have a church?
No.
Is there in the greater area nearby, does any village have like a church with an actual cleric of Aurelian Soul?
No.
Or at least priest? Or
At
cleric?
least a priest, yes. No clerics, though. The closest priest is 6 hours away. You had to go there for wedding ceremonies. The closest cleric is in the city of Flamium, which is the capital of the province.
How far is that away approximately?
30 miles, 40 miles, something like that. So like
So
a
like-
That's
whole
been told
day
us about the
or two
spirit
travel.
for this land, right? And that's what's happening.
Yeah, 55 miles, so it's 2 days of travel, basically.
I don't understand. Why did the spirit have to sacrifice itself?
Yeah, sacrifice itself. That's one way of
Or like
phrasing it.
die? Like,
Ah, yes. Sacrifice.
Renesmee, you said the spirit decided to end its existence here? Is that right?
I'll blink at the soil, and tears will start welling up to my
Oh,
eyes. and
I'm sorry.
I'll brush them away and be like, "You just did."
It just disappeared? What even was it? Why did the villagers even want it gone?
It was eating their food supplies in order to keep itself alive. The land wasn't producing enough to keep it alive, and the villagers alive, so it decided to sacrifice itself for sake of the villagers. But in a way, it
It
was like a
decided that?
curse. Yes. I'll, you know,
Couldn't it just have like gone somewhere else?
there was nowhere nearby that it could get, that it could sustain itself. This space spirit had such a huge hunger, and this was the land that it lived on for thousands of years. It couldn't go anywhere else. Nowhere else had enough food for it.
Oh,
Its time here was doomed.
that's unfortunate.
So, if it couldn't be here, and it couldn't be anywhere else, it chose to save the humans for some reason. It was very noble. It thought that, you know, it wanted to repair kind of the relationship between the humans and the Fae, and thought that this would be a noble and valiant way to do it, I guess.
Seems weird. I don't know much about Fae, but all I've heard was that they're like weird, selfish tricksters. They play tricks on people, try to. All I know is like bedtime stories.
Yeah, that's,
Most about
that's
the Fae,
not all
or most
Fae,
of
though.
the Fae is unknown, or you know, linked to the Dead Ward or considered heresy. So it's hard to research
Yeah.
anything properly.
They're not all bad. I've heard the stories too. You know, they used to tell us them at the orphanage, but
You know,
I
like
mean, if they
children
were all
getting their
bad,
names or voices stolen.
yeah.
Wait,
if
is that
they
what
were all
happened to
bad,
Grania? I'm
and
joking.
look
I'm
at
joking.
Grania.
Grania
She's
just
like looking at you guys. She's
Yeah.
not following any of the conversation.
yeah, she just 1,000-yard stares.
Classic Grania stare moment. Don't just make this character so you can post stare emojis.
True.
Show off his collection.
Dota made this character so he can play TFT in the background and not have to speak.
no,
Real.
he likes staring. Okay. He just likes
Well,
staring.
What do we do here, folks?
Well, it's a curse, so I mean, where do you go from there?
Find someone to,
Characters. Is remove curse not a spell that druids are able to cast?
I think it is.
Is it?
Now, very critically, I did say it is close to bestow curse. It is not actually the spell bestow curse. And secondly, druids cannot cast remove curse. Only paladins, clerics, warlocks, and wizards can. So Grania
Oh, I thought
could
druids could.
on a long rest.
Well, if she had it like prepared.
Yeah, on the
Or,
long...
like, well, no,
Oh,
actually.
fuck, I keep forgetting that warlocks work.
She's
like
not a
that, man. They're
prepared
so
caster.
goofy, yeah. Such goofy little
Wait,
fellas.
do I have this spell? What level is it?
Third?
Third.
It's
Third level.
Third. Yeah, it is third.
Wait, do you have it?
No.
Oh, okay. okay.
We've never recommended anything even remotely useful for it, so I don't think-
True. It is literally would have never come up until this exact second. And even then, it probably wouldn't have worked. Yeah, I mean, you can just head back to the Quaester's place and get some sleep and then do the thing you came here for. It's not... You're judge of the Empire. You can sort of
Well-
define what you do. If you want to solve this, you can, but it's not like you don't have to. There's no one...
The issue is, Harkon, I can't really do what I wanted to do, because what I was imagining is I come back and there's lush plants, and I'm like, hey, you know who did this for you? That Fae guy that fucking died for you. He
Yeah.
did that. He
Oh,
did this
yeah.
good
Well,
stuff.
you could do that and
Now
say,
that I
hey, you know
come
what? Your
back-
fields have 2 plants. Because that
Fae
fake guy.
He killed himself to fucking curse you losers.
So, a very different type of statue. More of like an effigy to be burned.
No, yeah. So I'm gonna be like, this land's cursed. This sucks. I'm not putting up a statue, unfortunately, because this is the wrong time to do it. If I'm able to figure this out, I'm not saying this out loud, obviously.
You think
if I'm
we
able
could
to
maybe,
figure this
like,
out, then
Make
maybe
an
I'll.
offering to appease him? To lessen the curse?
Well, I don't think that he's a god. I think that he's a dead fae.
Yes, but do you think that if we made like an offering, like a small shrine, just outside of town where nobody would notice it, with like a bunch of food next to it, think that would have any effect at all? You know, apart from being obvious heresy, and we could get
Yeah.
like trouble for that.
I have a question, Harkon, about
Yeah.
conjure woodland beings.
Sure.
Oh.
Can I what level of fae was he?
Much higher than that.
Much
I
higher
didn't
than
see a
2?
2 like.
Yeah.
Huh. What's the closest
Also,
challenge
even
I
if you
can-
could summon him, you can't summon him because he's dead.
Well,
I know
yeah,
not
but
him specifically, but I could
Oh,
summon
another
one of them.
Yakshash. Okay.
Yakshash.
Yakshash.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know they're higher than 2. I don't recall their CR at the moment. Yeah, they're higher than 2. That's all that matters.
Is there anything similar that I think with my like druidic knowledge would be
Define similar, like another type of fae?
another type of fae that is maybe in the domain of plants that could like help answer questions, has the intelligence to answer questions and give us.
Sure, you could summon a pixie, which is what Creek was. They're pretty intelligent. You could summon a satyr. They are nature-based. They're a little bit horny-brained, though. You could summon a... Honestly, if you just want to go right into the deep end of, like, conniving but also intelligent, you could summon a sea hag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, they can't be hostile to you because of how this spell works, and they have to obey your commands in terms of combat, but I don't think that would mean they have to be truthful when speaking to you, so keep that in mind for any of the things you talk to. They are still fae.
Yeah.
There are some really funky things I'd like to bring up, but I can't.
I mean, you can. Just sign at them. Sign at the party,
You totally
smile.
can.
Well, it's things that Granny would literally not.
Yeah, I know.
tell me,
Granny
so-
wouldn't share it, but...
Just reveal yourself as a player they have, like, possible heretic, What could go wrong?
True.
I'm trying to find D&D 5e monster list. There we go.
If you can't think of anything, I will say Grania will be doing something tonight to try to figure something out.
Can't you... Dryads are CR1.
Yep.
Regular
That's
dryads.
what she summoned in the last fight, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose But can they talk?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They
I'll
We've
speak,
summon
spoken to 2
they
of them
spoke
so far.
Elvish and Sylvan, though. Do you
Well,
speak
by
any of
base,
those?
normal base 5e dryads speak that. In the past, you've
Okay.
communicated to them in Symbolin.
Okay. Yeah. I will summon 2 dryads.
Sure, so you are in an open public space. There's not anyone out and about since it's nighttime,
Oh.
but you are easily visible from like a dozen farmhouses and the constabulary.
Oh yeah.
Alex, are there any creatures that each knows of that can, like, cast plant growth as, like, what's the inherent spell? What's that
Innate?
called?
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
As
Can
the
dryads do
innate
that?
spellcasting?
I know strong dryads can. I don't know if normal dryads can, though. No, they can't. They can only do entangle. Cringe.
But the strong ones can.
The strong ones can indeed. She is not capable of summoning those, though.
She is capable of summoning pixies. who
There
can
is a
cast pollen.
CR1 creature called Alcide, source
Nah.
of the mythic Odysseus of
smile.
Pharos.
Nah, no.
That can cast plant growth once a day.
Does not exist.
Is this not a? Is this
Not a
byproduct?
Valorosan critter.
No. Someone pixie can cast pollen.
Yeah,
How is
but a
that how?
polymorph is a beast, not, you can only turn into beasts, not other fae.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would
Otherwise,
do it.
we get
I
real
think, honestly,
wacky.
if you're trying to get them to improve the fertility of the area, your best bet would be a satyr.
Well, I want like information and to improve. Satyr?
For information, I would not recommend satyrs, and their method of improving fertility, I think Greek would probably have told you this. There's also the rumors in, not rumors, stories,
Uh-oh.
in the orphanages that satyrs will probably just have a giant orgy on top of the field, and that'll probably end up increasing its level of fertility. Whether the townsfolk will want you to do that, that's a whole different question.
Can they go invisible?
No.
Invisible orgy.
Also, even if they were invisible, the noises would be more than enough.
Invisible orgy, bruh.
The satyrs are intentionally not quiet.
Make them invisible and then cast pass without
I
a
can
trace on
control them.
Or
Can they
silence.
not? I can give them directions. They don't have to be happy about it, but
Sure, then they'll. If you do things that are going to annoy them, they can just choose not to help you. Like, you physically can force them to. They're not going to fight you or anything, but they also don't have to, like, be your slaves. And it's only
It
1
does
hour
say they
anyways.
obey any verbal commands.
I
that
don't
you issue
agree
to
with
them.
that. I think for the purposes of combat they do, but they're not like mind puppets. They're still Fae. You're just summoning there and with magical ability, controlling them for an hour in combat. But they're not literally like mentally enslaved.
what do you think? The satyr or the?
If you want pure info, Hag is the way to go, 100% guaranteed. If you want them to cast spells, maybe Pixie or Satyr.
I'm not sure this is actually the solution that we're looking for.
No. A sea hag could have a lot of information. I don't know what a sea hag specifically is. Is that just a hag that lives in the sea?
Yeah.
Technically, it's not the sea. They live inside of underwater caves, typically. They are, like...
Was that... Did we run into it this campaign, or is that the
Let
other
me think.
campaign?
You
What
have
happens
run
in
into
the
once at some point. Was it this campaign?
Was
No.
It was
that
a hag in
regular
the
hag?
forest grass. Yeah.
It was the other one?
I was invited. The
Okay.
one that took Lars's eye?
No, that was not
no.
a sea
There was
hag.
another one that we came across, like a lake of some sort, and it like tried to pull people in and drown them.
Oh, that was not a hag. That was... I know what you're talking about, though. That was in this campaign. It was not a hag, though. It was something
Oh,
drowner.
okay.
But, yeah, sea hags are... I hesitate to use the word objectively evil because technically there are sea
You
hags
said
that
it.
aren't... Yeah, but that basically is what sea hags are. They eat children. They cast spells. They exclusively almost exist to predate on humanity. They are, like, the most evil of Fae. So just keep that in mind if you're summoning one.
Aaron, almost died too.
But yes, they know a lot of shit typically because they just speak to their elder sisters, the other hags, classes of hags who typically know a shit ton.
If you summoned a sea hag, would they count as being in a coven?
No.
Good.
Well, I'll bring all these things up to the party. I'm interested in seeing what you guys have to say. What do you think is best?
Well,
Out of character, I say wait until what Grenade does tonight, but in character, she's not going to tell you that, so.
So the in character, no.
in character, I'll say, I'd like to do much for these people and stuff, but, Renee said something about being able to plant growth and also, summoning weird fake creatures here might, they might think we're doing some real suspicious stuff, what we're kind of doing, and considering there was like a fake creature in their, from their perspective, destroying their crops and stuff, whatever, before, they might think we're like, with them, I think that would be summoning fake creatures right here and right then, and
we
somebody
came
saw
here to
us.
deal with the problem last time, and we dealt with the problem.
Yes,
we
but
shouldn't be seen, obviously. Okay, so we're not going to do anything today. Yes.
I think it's incredibly risky.
Okay. Okay.
Randy is going to sign the word tired.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to bed, and if we do summon creatures tomorrow, we'll do it like out of the town and bring like a sample of the soil or something.
Easy enough. You guys head back to the Quaester's estate. By the time you arrive, a smell carries out of the mansion. It's delicious. It smells of meat and spices, which are expensive. He's pulled out all the stops to honor, the visiting judges. Heading up the steps, the servant will open up the door and guide you into the dining chamber. Not really Severus, though, of course. He waves you in as well. And at the dining table, there is a bottle of wine, a half-empty bottle of some fine Tabrashan brandy, and then 3 plates of food and a small little loaf of bread, just in case maybe Severus is hungry. And the Quaestor is sitting at the head of the table. He's already started eating. Already has a big glass of wine, but as you enter, he'll stand up and give a bow.
I'll nod my head and I'll go and sit down.
Any
Randy
luck at
is
the
entranced by the
fields?
food.
Not quite. It's very, very strange. It's like the land's been cursed or something, There's just nothing growing at all.
Yeah, some funky stuff going on.
That's an interesting accent. Where's it from?
Just west of the Tabrashan Plains.
West of
There's a small village there.
In Nausius? Oh, small village, you said. I actually fought out on the plains when I was a young man. What was the name of the village?
Randy is going to pull on his mace cloak.
Hey, oh god, do I remember any small villages in that area?
I have a glass of
roll me
wine.
charisma check.
History, maybe?
Charisma.
To remember villages?
No, not to remember. It's to remember in this exact moment while you're in the middle of a conversation. This is like,
Can I
you're...
accidentally spill my wine?
Yeah, you can accidentally spill your wine, and, just as Severus, makes up the town, he says, Vorshilograd.
I'm so sorry! I
Yeah.
am so sorry!
Brad.
The Quaestor stands up and says, I can have Textus, please fetch a napkin for the judge.
Oh, I am so sorry. I've made a complete fool of myself. Just when we started, didn't I?
Unfortunate. Well, I don't know if we have any Do you have a change of clothes?
I don't believe so. I can wash these and hang them to dry overnight.
That'll take too long. Texas, after you fetch the, like, you know, the servant is like, you know, handing a cloth towel over to you. He says, "See if any of my wife's clothes will fit our two lady judges here."
Thank you. Thank you. Your wife. Where are your wife and your daughter off to?
They're in Flamium.
Where's
They're my maternal, I suppose it'd be, grandmother-in-law, a very old woman, is getting married to her 5th husband.
Randy is going to interrupt again and pull on Nesme.
Congratulations, I guess.
Thank you. Yes, please, go upstairs and get yourselves cleaned up with Texas. I'd like to speak more to you, Marcus.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, no,
and as you guys,
it's
you know,
alright.
exit the room, you hear the Quaestor saying, "So
Granny
tell
didn't
me
want to
more."
exit. She was like pointing out the
I wouldn't
food.
have
She wants to
exited.
eat.
Yeah,
Oh.
I wouldn't have exited either.
That's why she's
okay.
been trying to get permission.
Sure.
Oh, yes. Yeah, let's eat first, and it's fine. I've
Okay.
been in worse. Trust me.
All right, the two of you stay, and the Quaestor will say, "So, you were born in this Vorshilograd. You know,
Wait,
I've met
I want-
many..."
Harkon, I want to just keep him hostage in conversation with me.
Sure, how do you interrupt him? Because he's gonna go back to asking Marcus about stuff.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, so your grandmother, she's on to her 5th husband. Wow.
Well,
and what's
maternal
happened to the last one?
grandmother-in-law, I suppose.
Ah, so on your wife's side.
Yes.
Do you have a good relationship with her?
No, or else I'd be in Flamium.
Oh goodness, what has she done?
Well, you know, it's more of a sort of political match. I just don't get along with my wife's family very much.
That is a shame. That is a shame. Luckily, something that I don't have to deal with, as I am a single woman.
Well, it's not all that bad. She's a part of Clan Canidia. She came with a very hefty dowry. Got to renovate this entire mansion when I first moved into it. I mean, we'll only be here a couple of years, but thought it should be nice while we're here.
Well, it does look beautiful. And what kind of renovations did you do?
And he will begin to talk about the extensive work that he did to this home when moving into it. He'll describe the, you know, ancient Quaestor who lived in here before him, a man who had no upward ambition, no drive, and just was content to live in this shithole village for the rest of his life, which this man is not. He's very ambitious. He's a retired officer of the military, which he will bring up multiple times. And
Did he talk about the ancient dude as if he's family doll?
I think it sounds very distant, but I think at one point, you know, he'll be in the middle of talking and say, "Yes, and you know, my father was awfully dreadful with the internal decor." The former Quaestor. And then he'll just continue babbling on about, you know, other things. And, yeah, and eventually, you know, it'll be him talking for like 95% of the time, it seems. He has no filter. And,
people talk. Good one.
yeah, people talk. And, you know, as it's, he finishes his meal, he continues to sip at the wine, and eventually the servant will come and collect the plate, and as he does so, the Quaestor will say, "Well then, I guess it's about that time. I hope you all enjoyed the meal."
Oh, it was delicious. Fantastic, really. I commend your staff. They did a wonderful job.
Did you hear that, Textus? You know, being called staff now. Yes, he did a great job. He's a wonderful servant.
Yes.
You know, he was in the legions with me.
Ah, was he?
It's a story for another time, though. We met under interesting circumstances. Anyways,
Ah.
if you're to start searching the fields, you should get some sleep.
How close does he seem with
Yes,
this
of
guy?
course.
Probably pretty close, like friends. Definitely. They're joking and laughing. The
More than
relationship between a
friends?
servant and a mast. You know, maybe. You haven't seen them touch. You know, there's been no physical chemistry yet, but who knows? Maybe these are star-crossed lovers.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. You know,
Maybe.
Well,
secretly his lover.
I'm finding it funny that this guy is gonna tell people when he talks about Renesmee the judge, like, "Oh, she was so friendly and chatty."
Oh, yeah. She was great.
And like everyone else's thing is like, "What, that fucking bitch? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Talking about like stuff. Oh god, she's so annoying.
True.
And then she always wants an oatmeal.
Oh my gosh, the oatmeal. Yeah, Renesmee, you head to the
Thank you so much,
couch.
yeah. Let's go.
Granny and Severus head up to the actual bedroom.
Wait, it's
Yeah.
two separate beds, right?
It is two separate
Yeah.
beds, yeah.
Yeah, just making sure, you know,
Yeah.
because usually, you know, a bedroom and, you know, a
Yeah.
couple's house, you know.
Yeah. It's not the master bedroom. It's the guest bedroom.
Okay.
Which is also where his daughter would have slept if she were here, but she is not. So you guys head up into the guest bedroom. A second bed has been pulled in, and you lay down. And Grania, since you were trying to get a moment alone with that thing on your shoulder, you know, as everyone's starting to go to sleep and the house is getting quiet, what do you do?
Because I'm gonna be talking, I don't want to be in the same room, so I'm gonna try to sneak out. Although
Yeah, you're gonna need some light to see by as well, or the thing doesn't work. So
I mean, you're gonna be talking, huh?
yeah, exactly. Talking, air
No,
quotes.
not me talking.
Yeah. You head down the stairs. The only person awake is Textus, the servant. He's cleaning off the dining room table. He doesn't question why you're awake. He just, minds his own business. And you head over into the like the living room, where you can get some light from a lantern placed outside. What do you do?
I will signal to the fluttering one, saying I want to kind of have some questions.
Yeah, the fluttering one has been buried under your hair as it rained. He always likes to be there. He doesn't like, getting pelted by rain, and it would be relatively obvious that you were there if these were little ripples of rain hitting something on your shoulder. So he sort of uncocoons himself, recognizing your intent to speak with him. And he will emerge out onto your shoulder, sort of lean one arm against your ear, and look down at your hands.
I'll ask him if I'll sign, but I can't. But I'll sign and say, "Do you know anything about a fey creature cursing the land after it dies?"
He'll speak into your head. It's been known to happen. Sometimes they wish upon it with their dying breath, though I've never seen a curse work like this outside the Feywild.
Do
It's
you
not
think
like
I
where
could
we're
get rid
from.
of it with protection from evil?
No, certainly not. The rules out here are not like they are back home. Back home, the mistress could have weaved together a great tapestry of words and undone the curse just by her will. But here, where the humans are, it's different. They need magics and complex arcane rituals and offerings to their strange things that they worship. I don't think you and I can do anything here.
Do you think you could speak to anything that might be nearby that could be causing it?
Like what?
She'll sign she doesn't know.
I suppose I don't know either. I can tell you with great certainty, there are none of our kind out here. There's no Fae for miles.
She'll sign that's unfortunate.
Perhaps it could be the death rattle of some Fae. It could just as easily have been some other creature, though. Something else cursing this land, blighting its crops. Like I said, this place is not as I expected it.
She'll sign back. Well, I know you're not comfortable always coming out, so thank you for answering.
Of course. And he will, sort of go back underneath your hair and sort of curl up in the gap between your hair and the back of your neck in that tiny little, void.
Okay. And I'll go just climb back up to the room and try to go to sleep.
Yeah, it's easy enough. This is a comfy house. The sound of the rain is, just a further thing to put you to sleep. Renesmee, it's a little bit harder for you because these are not like modern couches, which are filled with like all sorts of really nice types of like stuffing. It's just feathers and shit. So it doesn't provide much cushioning. So it's a bit hard to get to sleep. And when you eventually do end up waking up, you're going to be all sweaty from like the leather couch itself. It's not ideal sleeping conditions. We'll put it that way. But the next morning, you guys wake up.
However, back in Jagden's Keep, I had to sleep on fucking nothing, so I think I'm
for a
okay
couple
with
months,
that
yeah.
question. Yeah.
I think people acclimate quickly. I feel like, I don't know. I mean,
true.
yeah, I think you would have acclimated to real beds after getting out of that hellhole.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys will wake up the following morning. Breakfast is being prepared by Textus, and the Quaestor is already gone for the morning. He's gone out to send another petition to, apparently this time, the Department of Civility, because they're having a border dispute with a nearby village. But that's none of your business. Textus will just get you guys some coffee, some oats, whatever else you require, and he fed your horses already. So,
Oh, thank you for feeding Nami.
he will just give a nod. What's to be done today?
Well, we can either go back to town and join with our other comrades and keep this place in mind, or we can try and speak to someone who would have information about it. I think that it might be good to speak to someone who might be able to tell us what's really going on here.
I think we need to see a cleric for that one.
Are we in private?
There's the servant still floating around.
Oh, well, I'll, get us somewhere more private. And...
Well, I mean, you're in the guy's house. Where is a private place?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I'll be like, alright, let's go for a ride. A nice little morning ride.
Sure. Yeah,
I
you
need
guys
to,
can...
I need my cooking pot. I found the rain yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Very nice.
Hopefully
you
it
guys
didn't
can
cause
all-
a forest fire.
You can all mount up and go on a nice
It
little
was raining,
4-hour
so-
ride to go recover the cooking pot and the rest of the camping supplies.
When we're, on our way there or whatever,
Yeah.
I'll suggest we could find, a pond or something very secluded in, a brush, and summon a hag. She would be relatively under my suggestion or control, otherwise I could dismiss her. We could ask her what's happening, we just have to, show her the sample of soil that you have.
Here's the wacky one.
I
Completely.
love wacky ones.
If I was to kill the hag, would I get experience for it?
No.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I've already thought this through. I know the memes. I know all the memes. I don't know whether it was Ethan or somebody else in that campaign, but a party fought a Hydra once, and before the combat really started, one of them was like, "What if we just infinitely cut off the Hydra's heads and just farmed infinite Hydra leather?" And I was like, "Bro, at a certain point, you're just gonna kill the Hydra." But I feel like this falls into that vein.
Oh, boo.
Thing. Well, also, you also ended up dying fighting that Hydra, so it's not like you were gonna farm it anyways. But that was the one where Thorin died. Yeah.
Most unfortunate.
Yeah, most unfortunate.
Certainly could have farmed some expensive dwarven runic mithril plate. But that's
Really tragic.
Oh,
So, what have you linked here, Yogi? Oh, you said oops. Never mind.
Did you just that the hag would obey whatever she said because it's part of the
yeah,
spell?
okay,
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna,
early
if
on-
nobody has if nobody's gonna voice a counter to it, then we're gonna do it.
Sure.
Well, I
yeah.
think it's fairly dodgy.
Do you think so?
Dodgy enough to not do it.
a great idea.
Summoning a hag and we'd have to make sure we're definitely not caught.
Sure, I could also just unsummon it at any moment when
Yeah, but
someone could be a lookout.
yeah,
Well,
sure.
you're already 2 hours outside the town. You
Let's
recover the
do it, I
cooking
guess.
pot. It's filled with water.
Let me make
Your
sure no one's trading us.
stew
We're
is
not climbing
functional.
a tree.
Yeah, your stew is functionally ruined. It did not burn down the forest. You climb into a nearby tree and look out towards the road. You get a bit of flashbacks moment. Now you're the one sitting in the tree.
Oh
Spooky.
yeah, jeez.
But yeah, Renesmee, you can head over to a small little pond nearby. There's a bunch of lily pads atop it. You dismount Nami.
Which one of you wants to alert? Probably Severus, because he can yell if someone's coming.
Yeah, Severus is already in a nearby tree looking out towards the road.
Got it. I'll ask Severus to give me the vial of soil that he has.
I have a vial of soil in me.
I don't know if it's a vial, but you did pick up some of the soil
yeah, you
from
picked
the
up
field.
dirt. I thought that you put it in a little jar or something.
Oh, I thought I just tossed it after.
Well, that would heavily influence what we would be doing here.
Oh, I totally brought some. If I knew this was
I
actually
do remember you
a good
picking
idea.
it up. I don't remember it being put in
Yeah.
a vial, so we'll just say, sure, because the only
You
penalty is
have-
going back and forth again. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can toss a clod, a little preserved clod of soil from the field down to Renesmee from the branch of the tree. She can catch in her hand little bits of soil go scattering, and you can walk back over to the pond.
I will conjure woodland beings and summon
Did,
a sea hag.
Did Renesmee explain she was doing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, multiple
course.
times.
Okay. I don't think Granny knew you did it in the last fight, so it's the first time seeing it.
Okay, yeah, you head over to the pond. You speak words, Chlak Vakman Naltul, and a jagged line tears through space, and walking through it is a beautiful woman. She has shoulder-length black hair. She has a very finely fitting silk garment which sort of pools around her in the water. She is incredibly beautiful, though her eyes seem a little bit too big for her head. That's the only thing that seems a little bit odd to you. And as she
Granny will
appears
be
in the
hiding behind
water...
Renesmee.
Yeah, and as she appears in the water, she looks up at you, Renesmee. She sort of looks around.
Hello.
Well, you brought me here.
Yes, we have some questions for you. We've summoned you because we understand that hags are wielders of great knowledge, and we thought that if anyone were to know, it would be you. There are strange disturbances happening in that town, and I'll give her like a lowdown of the situation, and then I'll ask her, what do you think could be causing that?
Before I continue, I must say that you are quite rude. I was meeting a wonderful young man.
I sincerely apologize.
I don't believe you. But what you are speaking of is clearly a curse.
And do you know what could cast such a curse? What could bestow that?
A very powerful fae.
Do you know of any fae that are capable of?
Of course.
May I know what they are?
No. You think me so bold as to give away the names of those entrusted to me?
Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't know that just like the name of the species of the fae was...
Granny will pull on Renesmee's cloak. And
I'll
she'll
turn over.
sign, say sorry.
I'm sorry.
Likely one of the stronger ones. I cannot imagine something as trivial or droll as a pixie could have done something as you describe. Likely one of the elder ones.
A yaksha?
No, certainly not. Those are nubile in comparison to the great archfey.
The archfey. They're larger than yaksha.
Most certainly. And likely one of those. You speak of an entire village, miles upon miles afflicted by a curse. Even something such as you, a druid, cannot afflict that much territory all at once. Your magics are greatly limited. It reeks of an archfey. I'm sure they have some grudge with this little town that you speak of.
They do. Is there anything that anyone can do to help mend the grudge, or is it...
You can seek out the archfey who delivered this curse and beg for forgiveness, or... She sort of sniffs in deeply. It's funny because the sound of her sniffing sounds like she has much larger nostrils and much more sort of bestial features, but it's on the face of this beautiful young woman. There's a very big disconnect in the noise and the visual.
Voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and the voice as well. Yeah. And she sort of sniffs and says,
But we are not within Athol-Loren. I am not sure of this place. Your magics are strange. Your names mean nothing.
Would we have to go to Athol-Loren to speak to the archfey?
Perhaps. Perhaps it is here. I do not know. Your people have strange magics to undo such curses. I would know.
Do you know how we could go about contacting an archfey if it was on our plane?
Do so at your peril.
They're dangerous, violent?
Of course. It all depends on which one you meet.
Are there? How many in number are they? Like, are there 100 or
Bah,
like 5?
I do not know. This is a wisdom of the trees, not of me.
Mm.
If you are lucky, you'll encounter the Bear King, and he'll rip you limb from limb. If you're unlucky, perhaps you'll be trapped within a constant song by the long-haired one or some other one that takes great joy from punishing those such as yourselves.
So
Long-haired one. Wait a minute.
you would advise to not attempt?
Do you live in this village you spoke of?
No.
I say leave them to their fate. They have wrought the ire of something greater than themselves. I suppose for you feeble-minded mortals from this plane, you could refer to it something close to a god. There is a phrase that you all have. Those who, Bah, I do not recall the old scripture anymore, but it's something along the lines of don't anger the gods. That was the moral of the story, I recall that much.
What can you tell us about the other Archfey? Just in case it is one of them.
There is too many to number, and I know very few.
Would you please tell us the few that you do know, just in case there are any, well, in case we encounter them or something? The Bear King rips you limb from limb.
Yes, there is, of course, just the stories that all, even the youngest and weakest of hags know. There is, of course, the Bear King, the long-haired one, the Mother of Groves, the Breaker of Limbs. There's the Enchanter, the Spring-tailed Jester. There are too many to number. What do you wish of me?
Yeah, well, that is just so interesting. And what do any of them? Does a sound like within the MO of any of them?
This is within the MO of all of them. To a number, they despise your people. As do I, if you care. And if you have wrought their ire, they will destroy you. The fact that you do not have wild animals eating your organs and breaking your bodies is an indication perhaps the Bear King is not particularly displeased, but that still leaves all the others.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a specific way you'd usually thank people in the Fae for assisting with these kind of things or answering questions like this?
A simple thank you is fine.
Okay.
What if we wanted to help them bring the Fae back to our plane for whatever reason they are here?
Well, you have asked me a great number of questions. Perhaps I could ask you one, Summoner.
Yes.
What do they call you?
Granny will pull on her cloak and sign the words, names, dangerous, careful.
I thank you very, very kindly. But I'm kind.
You are kind?
Yes.
If you're going to make a fake name, at least humor me with making it believable.
I'm giving you a characteristic of mine.
Bah!
Our names don't
You
matter,
mortals do not
they?
do those things. You mortals have stupid names like Jonathan, Ethan, Kyle. I know the names that you all give yourselves. This kind you speak of is nothing.
Hold on.
Granny will tug again and sign, and sign, you can tell my name.
Grania.
And she'll kind of peek out kind of from behind.
The woman smiles, and within the mouth are a dozen needle-pointed, sharp teeth.
Wonderful. Now what was that question that you asked, dearie?
Fuck, I forget the question I did ask. You just scared me half to fucking death.
She's just asking questions, okay?
I know, but who would have thought that such a simple thing would be so, like a simple question would be so scary to answer? Well, what if it was to bring them back into harmony with our plane? I'm not sure why they're here, but they're here for a reason, I would assume. And the Yakshaw here, he had died, and it was very tragic. And what if we wanted to help the other Fae that are still alive here not be killed and persecuted, or bring more glory to the wonderful aspects of the Fae?
She looks at you and blinks. You are asking me how to solve your people's desire to kill mine?
Huh? No. Would the Archfey be more kind or peaceful, or...
The Archfey do not care for the preservation of other of their kind. They have specific whimsies, enjoyments, things such as those, and they pursue them with great aplomb. Perhaps this Yakshas you speak of was a paramour, or perhaps he was an entertainer, or perhaps 2,000 years ago he had lost a bet and been preserved with eternal life, and then his ultimate death raised the ire of one such archfey. That is the nature of such creatures.
Well, then it seems that village is cursed.
The hag shrugs.
Or perhaps there's human magics that might help it.
Well, is there nothing
I have-
else you have for me, dear Grania?
I have quite a few other questions, but they aren't related to this. I was wondering, have you heard of a Pearl of Power?
Of course.
And do you happen to know where I can get one on this plane?
No.
Can I get an insight check?
Sure. Yeah, you suspect her to be telling the truth. Thus far, you don't think she's lied to you, nor do you think Fae in general would blatantly lie like that. Like, they would dance around the truth rather than just literally lie, like straight up just say no rather than yes.
Got it. Do you know anyone who might know where one is?
Yes.
Might I know what their name is, or how to contact them?
Yes, of course. You should make your way out to... What is the nearest wood to here? Would it be... Athelmanon? We are in Cavaranth, yes?
Have I ever heard of these words?
Cavaranth is a kingdom on the far westernmost portion of the world. So, like, 3,000 miles to the west.
We are somewhat near there.
Well, then you would make your way to Athelmanon, and there, if you simply speak out to the winds of the forest and ask for King Advarn, I'm sure he could greatly assist you in a number of ways. A Pearl of Power could be amongst them.
Does Granny know anything that she's talking about?
Yeah, King Advarn is very well known to be a specter of sorts that haunts the wilds, and when you call him, his entire band of hunters comes along. And typically they horribly murder you, but sometimes they've been known to just bestow boons.
What's
I
that?
feel like-
What's that ratio?
It's like 99% murder, 1% boon.
Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
King Advarn before. when I
Yeah,
was
there's
in
a
this
fairy
town.
tale related to him.
Yeah. I'll smile at her and be like, I know this King Advarn that you speak of.
Well, then you know the great gifts he bestows upon those he is favorable towards.
If you don't die. But, yeah.
Oh, but you're so talented, summoner. You've brought me here, and you've even made the wise decision of giving me your name. I'm sure you'd be just fine.
May I ask you one more?
Yes.
Do you know if our friend is alright?
Your friend?
You know, it's probably best I don't give you his name. Thank you
No,
for your
no,
help.
please. I'd love to reach out to them.
you
Perhaps
for
with a
your
lock
help.
of your hair, I could do it even easier.
Oh god.
Would you like a vial of my blood as well?
If you're offering.
And what may I call you?
I'm afraid that you've given me nothing of value to which exchange that with, but I will say this. I will see you very, very soon, Grania.
Does she
That's
peer past
awfully-
Renesmee at Grania?
No,
That'd be
she
wacky.
continues to look at Renesmee.
Okay. Okay.
Awfully suspicious of you.
I say not. I only wish to pay you back in kind for dragging me here.
I
Oh no.
sincerely
Grania will
apologize.
pull on Renesmee's cloak, saying, "Make sure to say many thanks."
Yeah.
Forward.
I sincerely apologize for disrupting you, and once again, we want to say thank you. We truly appreciate the knowledge that you've bestowed upon us, and though I understand you don't like
Yes,
our kind,
yes, please spare the pleasantries. As I said, I have a young man waiting for me. I think he's almost ready to eat.
I will thank her in all of the ways that I know how to thank someone very kindly, even
She
though
will
she
roll
keeps
her
saying-
eyes.
I'll just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and then I will dismiss her.
Yeah, a jagged portal tears through space, and for the briefest of moments, you see the interior of a watery cave and a cooking pot in the background, and then the portal closes.
I will take a fucking breath.
That's what she meant. Oh dear.
Wait, huh?
Huh?
Grania will sign to Renesmee. Don't worry about name.
Are you sure?
She'll nod.
Oh. But even if she doesn't, like, spy on me or try and find me, she'd be trying to find you.
She'll hesitate for a second, but then sign the word fate.
What was the word?
Fate.
I'll say,
Amazing.
I'll, like, bring my voice down, and I'll be like, that's not your real name?
She'll spell out author or Hyperion, probably just Hyperion.
Yeah, Hyperion. Yeah, true.
Now, when I first met Grania, she actually told me that her name was Fiery.
Yeah,
the hair
fiery
symbol.
hair
Attempted to sign it,
Yeah.
and she
I was
would
like,
get onto
Flames?
Hyperion whenever he didn't call her.
Yeah,
But then she
so-
eventually just got used to it.
I'm going to, because I know that you introduced me you were introduced to me initially through that sign as like fire. I'm going to ask, is your name Fire?
She'll hesitate for a second and then shake her head no. And then she'll sign out. Grania works.
Okay, Granny. All right.
So, you make your way back out towards the road. Severus, you hear their footsteps approaching, and you can glance down from the tree. They look fine. No major injuries on them. Renesmee looks a little bit shooketh, but, it is what it is.
Yeah. Very creepy. Thank you for being watched, Sarah's.
Imagine if you'd actually given her your name. It would have been so pog, so cool.
It would have not been
been
fun.
really.
Yeah.
Seems
It would have been really
unlikely.
funny, like somebody walks in and like, oh, Renesmee, you need, and then it's just like,
Also,
oh
out of
shit.
character, it may be a bad thing for Grania, but Grania doesn't believe this has a real name, so she believes it has no power. We'll see, though.
We shall see. Either way, Severus, you can hop down from your tree.
Well, what we've essentially learned is that it might be an archfey that has cursed this land. Do you remember, was he there for the Deadwood Adventures and the Bear
Yeah,
King?
the second half of it.
Was he?
Well,
Yeah.
when we were in the Deadwood, that little thing that was springing out and asking us to go see the Bear King for his party. Apparently, the Bear King is an archfey that will rip you limb from limb.
I remember Slurple and Lars giving up an eye.
Well, someone tried to invite us to the Bear King. We got rid of him. Nonetheless, if we went, we'd be totally fucked.
Oh shit, I never showed you the Sea Hag token. Oh my god, I goofed. I goofed so hard. Oh, I guess no, you never saw her true form. Never mind. You just saw the beautiful woman. Sorry, I interrupted you.
This is a
Can we see
spell?
the beautiful woman?
Oh, Xanthars.
Yeah, that's just what she looked like.
Can we see the sea hag just for fun?
Yeah, sure. Where is this? I guess she's beautiful in her own way. I shouldn't say
Minimum
that. I'm sure that
cost.
some people, different strokes for
Awesome.
different folks. This is what a sea hag looks like.
Oh my god!
I know,
It's like
different
the
strokes for
grandmother
different
fucking
folks, right?
thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some people would
Please.
find that beautiful.
Yeah, sure.
What about the teeth?
Well, yeah, it is what it is.
Also, all I got from Ceremony, that spell, was that Maximus has a AC hack now for
Yeah,
only 25
marrying.
gold every week. Genius.
Marrying
Oh,
someone?
while they're within 30 feet of each other.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to marry like Zetnius repeatedly.
No, I can't do that because the creature can only gain the benefit if we do it.
Well, you're gonna have to
Interesting.
marry like a.
He's gonna
duck
marry a
and then kill
random
it.
commoner and just bring her to every battle.
I'm sure
Well-
there will be no consequences from God for
humanoids.
all of that.
Yeah.
Impossible.
I'm sure that Aurelian Soul will greatly appreciate that.
Yes,
Anyways.
I'm sending more into his divine grace.
Yeah, they go there anyways, bozo. So,
no,
what's
you
next?
misunderstand.
I have essentially told them it's probably an archfey. We need to find a very high level spell caster, curse lifter person. Someone probably specified in lifting curses because we think that the land has been cursed.
Which
I
we
think
may
this-
make an official request on, but there's a chance that nothing happens with it, so just
Well, we're very, very, the Department of Faith loves us, so now or never.
That is true. You do got big old clout in the Department of Faith, so this may cost you some clout to do.
There could be remove curse scrolls in the
This
Department
might
of
not be
Magic.
enough.
But it might not be enough, yeah, as the DM was
We
alluding
need, like,
to
some
and the hag
hallowing
alluded
shit.
to. It's gonna have to be a complicated magic.
Yeah, I think
Well-
the best we can do is report back to the Department of Faith and have them investigate this with a cleric.
Yeah, you would know there are such people that do entirely specialize within the... Now, it's not just curses. They would call it witch-like magics, which include basically all non-standard spells. There are two groups that largely specify in that, which would be... There's a small order of blood hunters that do it, and then the Department of Faith has people who are... They're called witch hunters, but instantly your brain's probably going to go to more classical fantasy witch hunters where they wear hats and they have crossbows and shit. It's not those. They're just priests who specialize in undoing high level curses and other things such as those. And those do exist within the Department of Faith.
Yeah. Do you think that it's best for us to go to that little town logistically if we don't have that many resources, or to return kind of where we came from to do all of that banging out there?
Sounds like they have no thoughts.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
She's saying, do you want to go back to Nacilium and then do all these correspondence, or go back to Mythos and do this?
I think we just go back to Mythos and do that, and we'll tell them that we'll... Well, we should probably go back to Nacilius and at least tell them that we're doing something.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, we could send a letter, but we could also go there in person.
Yeah, you guys can go to Nacilium and inform them that you're going to go get some help. Then you can ride back to Mythos. This will be like a 4-day long affair to get all that done. But once you're in Mythos, it's actually relatively straightforward. You just go to the Department of Faith. They say, welcome, most esteemed judges. And you say, hey, we're going to make a special request. We are requesting that a witch hunter be sent to the small town of Nacilium within the province of Sedalia to cure a curse there. And then you give them all the details. There's not really much to role play out just because it is such a straightforward
Can
request.
I add a
How much is it
personal
gonna
note
cost
at
us?
the end?
Nothing.
Can I add a personal note or request at the end asking that whatever information they gather there...
Nothing,
and
he
whatever-
says it removes 1 rank in the Department of Faith.
Yeah, it's not going to cost you any money.
What? Isn't that their
What?
job? Why are they... What?
we're basically sending them on some bozo task they probably don't think is worth their time. So
It's like literally their job.
Why did it go down again?
The reason why it went down is because you guys are judges of the Empire. You have quite literally, in terms of legal front, zero ability to make any requests of the Department of Faith, other than basic provisioning of equipment. But since you're so clouded up, they will do this for you at the cost of one of your reputation.
That's sad.
Ooh,
It is what it
Well,
is.
clouded
that's
up
fine.
That's what the
They still like
reputation's
us.
for. It's literally meant to be spent on things like this.
all right, I'll go take my dog
Well,
out. So
I
have fun.
wanna have a personal note kind of attached asking that the person who goes there just do update me on what they find and if they're able to solve it or not, because
Sure.
I have a personal interest in the matter as I was there fixing
Yeah.
it first.
They can make sure to do that.
Decreases it one more.
No, I'm not going to do
What are the cost of 2?
Only 1?
Yeah,
Yeah,
send by mail
it just
letters
costs you
and
one.
little updates. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, cool. Then you guys can vibe in the city. Is there anything else you wanted to do? So you'll get the update on that. You'll get the Granny language learning thing. Is there anything else, or are you good?
I like to visit Maximus.
That should be easy enough. He's in the city, balling out at the most expensive inn.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
All right.
So yeah, you guys returned to the city. You were gone for like about a week total, and so you're 2 weeks into the long rest. You can make your way to an expensive tavern within the Imperial complex and find Maximus. Maximus, what would you be doing?
Right now, if I'm not out getting my nonsense taken care of, probably just enjoying the amenities. So maybe having like the reading. There's a couple specific books I have since bought that I will be reading while enjoying a nice meal and perhaps a
He's
nice
reading
drink.
smart.
Nice. Well, Severus, you find Maximus on the veranda reading a tome, eating a nice steak with some very expensive Cavaranthine wine next to him.
Living quite the life, huh?
Oh, hello, Severus.
I see you got some shiny new plate on. That must have cost an arm and a leg.
Indeed, it did. Yes. We're going to be having a meeting about that in about a week or so. So not to worry.
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
Recently, I think you had some. I think we both had some business with the Department of Magic, right? Via selling stuff. And I was wondering, do you think we could put in a joint? Basically, do you think we could hire somebody to go to auctions for us and look for specific items?
I mean, anyone can. I suppose. Do you have a specific object you're looking for?
Well, yeah. I'm looking for a magical bow of the shorter longbow type, or crossbow of the light or hand crossbow variety. Although a bow is much preferred.
How magical are we talking here?
Well, not cursed preferably, something that, actually aids me in a fight.
I more meant on a scale of mithril to
Perhaps 1 to 3.
artifact level item.
Well, mithril doesn't work for an actual bow. It works for arrows, which I do have some of. But if there was something equivalent to mithril for a bow, like this for armor or weapons, then that tier would be sufficient. Although anything above would be appreciated, though I assume it would be incredibly costly.
I see. You're looking for something that can deal damage to magical foes, in essence.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with that, and I don't want to be spending arrows buying mithril, getting fucked over by the economy changing constantly, throwing an arrow at some random enemy, only to find out that I just lost 200 gold to some bozo,
Alex, what is the equivalent for what would a +1 bow?
Yeah, the unfortunate fact is that what Severus is asking for is actually incredibly rare. The most common types of +1s in the world are material-based. What he is asking for is an enchantment-based thing, which are exclusively made thousands of years ago. So what he'd be looking for something like a +1 enchanted bow made by an archmage prior to the Shattering, or like a +2 Dwarven bow, or something that does extra magical damage. What he's looking for is an enchanted bow. And those are very expensive.
Have advanced bows been invented yet in the world?
Advanced? What do you mean?
Bows made of
a compound bow.
not with a sight, but this is not necessarily, but bows made out of a handpiece and separate arms and cams,
No.
like a modern type bow.
Not even close.
There isn't. So it wouldn't be possible to have a bow that's inlaid with metal, mithril laminate or something like that.
Even if it were, that wouldn't confer a +1 on the hit. You'd need something enchanted because the arrows, as you put, does all the stuff. Even if you increase the jaw strength of the bow, it wouldn't confer like magical damage into the arrows. It'd still be relying on the arrows. What you need is an actual truly enchanted bow, which do exist. They're just much more rare than something like a mithril bow. That's just a straight up big elf for ranged people versus melee people, because melee people can get a +1 warhammer and it works fine.
I'll think on it for a moment.
Yeah.
No. I don't think what you're looking for is available in the price range that any of us have attainable.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to be able
Also,
to start
sorry
looking
to
for it.
sorry
right?
to retcon this little thing, but Maximus is not just chilling there in his plate armor.
Yeah, that would make a bit more sense.
So yeah, Severus did not see his fancy new.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
he's got like a didn't he get some other mithril thing like a warhammer or something?
I got that a while ago though.
Maybe it's
okay.
like nearby with
That's-
Mickey. I don't know.
That's
Oh
not
yeah,
new.
true. Yeah, he would have maybe walked past to like the walk-through room or something. Maybe he could have seen a bit of it, or like the gauntlets or something.
It was
the
It was
sabatons.
in my room. Maximus doesn't like wander around.
Well, maybe he sees your
Imperial
bulging
complex.
coin purse.
Jesus. Anyway.
Do you carry like all of your material wealth when you go to?
If it's on your character sheet, yes.
It's not on my character sheet. It's on
Our gold off our character.
which
Damn.
Mickey and like in my room are sort of interchange
Damn, he
those
broke
things
his
while we're in
hell.
the city.
Damn. All right,
So
well,
right now,
continue
I
on then.
I actually have no money.
Continue then. Continue forward.
Okay, yeah.
Rolling for robbing Mickey.
It's in my room. Like it's
All right,
not,
sounds good.
material like bows like that can only be enchanted. It can't be like made out of specific materials like a weapon. A melee weapon could. And those are they're very expensive, very rare, and very. So unless you have thousands of gold sitting around somewhere that you're not telling us about,
I have 500.
yeah, that is not gonna cut it.
Wait, is that true?
I mean, Maximus's normal mithril, which is 50 gold a pound, cost him something like 1,000 gold. So if you're going to be looking at magical items, we're talking 1d5 times 1,000.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, no, sorry, something d5. 5d10 times 1,000.
You could also still go to these auctions with
that's
these
way more.
incredibly rare items and then, heist them.
What level is Severus?
9.
Wait, you just waste them? Do you mean murder the people?
Heist.
Oh, heist. Okay.
I think there's something that happened at an auction in the Delian League. somewhat
Yeah, I've heard
recently
something like that. Yeah.
Maybe might have made auction houses boost their security a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
But he can try it, I suppose. As for hiring someone to go to auctions, I suppose you could still do that. I mean,
I was gonna have Zednius do it through his estate management stuff. I'm just wondering, I don't want. We're constantly at the job. I don't want to miss out on a once in a lifetime thing like that just because we're not there.
That's understandable. It's just that you or I don't have the money for those kind of things.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Now, mithril arrows. I mean, mithril is expensive, but arrows, especially mithril ones, are because that's what each mithril arrow costs 0.025 pounds. That's like.
I mean, yeah, I have quite a bit of them on me. I don't think mithril arrows is something I can
0.025.
acquire fairly easily.
What's the current price of?
It's 30
mithril
gold
right
per
now?
20 arrows.
Yeah, I have 40 arrows. I have 40 mithril arrows on me right now.
He is right, though. It is a pretty absurd burn rate of just raw cash just exiting his bow every time he fights.
Yeah, basically
Each
one
arrow is
is like
$1,000.
more than 1,000 gold.
Yeah, these are
I
like
feel like-
real life ammunition price. It's like a 50
Yeah,
BMG
yeah,
or something.
I feel like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fucking. This is the meme of the guy killing the robber with his 5.7, realizing he should have just given him his wallet because it was cheaper.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it is basically that. Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, that's a issue that many a ranged fighter in your place have come across.
You could look into
Well-
daggers if you're interested in that, Severus.
I have 2 fairly good daggers.
Oh, okay,
Well,
then you're fine.
1 fairly good dagger. Oh yeah, a good
Daggers
dagger.
are
good
also
parry
much
dagger.
less likely to break with a crown. So,
True.
you know.
One could
Yeah,
even say that
but-
there's a 0% chance of them breaking.
Yeah, but there's a fucking 85% chance of an enemy seeing a magic dagger sticking in them and casting Dimension Door 5 times in one turn because it's Harkon's World.
That's so true. That happens all the
That
time.
seems, that
Yes.
seems unlikely.
Listen, I just remember that one guy I threw my dagger at, and I had to chase him through like 3 tunnels and like 15 bushes just to get my
Oh
dagger back.
yeah, that was so
Dude.
funny.
And I'm never doing that again. Never.
Literal
That was so
IRL
funny.
Scooby-Doo chase.
So unless I can get some fucking enchanted throwing
that you
knife
can summon
belt,
back into your hand. Yeah,
where I
those
can
would be
summon
pretty cool.
back my when I was into my hand.
that would,
this
that would
and
be,
not
that
hap-
would be pretty cool.
That
I
would be
There's
cool.
This is
float
not
around the
happening.
Deadly League.
Yeah, so true. You should just go kill your former player character and give all Veolian shit to Severus.
Dude, fucking genius.
So true.
It's too late. He already sold the cowl.
That's true. He's broke. Well, I know who has that now.
I
I
don't-
figured it out.
I don't
Smile.
know about.
That's
I don't-
me,
Why
actually.
would he be? Wouldn't he
Oh,
be
it's
the
Tullius.
opposite of broke if he sold the cowl?
I guess so. Anyways,
Guess
you're not
so.
buying a magical item. Yeah, I'll,
Depending on how desperate he was.
we shall continue.
Not that desperate is
Um,
the answer.
Is there anyone capable of enchanting?
No.
Okay.
Technically, very high level, 17th plus level transmuters and
Okay, just say
abjuration
no.
wizards can make them.
What
So
level's Geralt?
You're like
he is
those
level
guys.
14.
Oh.
Oh dear.
These are like less than I know the like that level is so rare. I know the names of everyone above that level. Like it's
Oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
there is
Tullius.
yeah.
Is one of
Tullius
them
is
the
not
Grand
above
Vizier?
17th level wizard.
Well, yeah, he's not a wizard, obviously.
Anyways, so with that dealt with,
Bondi
we
question
can
mark?
what? Bondi, yeah,
Bondi question
he's
mark?
yeah, he falls into that bucket. Okay, so we can move on. So no magical item. We can start moving forward in time. There are 2 things. 1, Severus. A couple days after returning to the city, you receive a letter. Dear brother, Tullius has brought me back. I'm in recovery at my estate. If you get the chance, I'd like to see you before your next task for the Department of Faith. Best, Zednius.
I mean, as soon as I'm reading the letter, no matter what time of day it is, I'm heading to the estate.
Okay.
And I'm letting Renesmee know.
Yeah?
Yes.
How do you let me know?
True.
Wait, where is she?
She is back in the city as well.
Chilling,
Well-
probably talking to a squirrel or something.
Based.
Oh,
She's in a
but
public park
do I-
talking to a squirrel.
Yeah, do I have any idea where she is?
Yeah, she would be staying at probably Department of Faith, like provided housing. There's an inn near the Imperial complex that they pay for.
I basically just sent her a note, visiting Zednius, he's back.
Okay. You received that note, Renesmee.
In my head?
No, it's a.
No,
I would imagine an actual
like
courier.
literal written notes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the second I get the note, I'm gonna be like, what's going, like, something must be fucked
Signed
up.
Severus.
Yeah, signed Severus.
Yeah, no, I get up. He said that he was visiting Zednius.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I-
said he's
I
okay. Or
run.
he's back or something like that.
Sure. Where do you run?
Well, depending on how you phrase it, I think that something demonic's got
Oh,
me,
he's
but-
back. Yeah, that does sound undead related.
What? No!
So where are you
Well,
running
I
to?
don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
like, he's dead.
Yeah, true.
Revivified doesn't true resurrection doesn't happen for people like us.
True.
One sec.
So
Severus is...
I'm gonna go search for him. I'm gonna run.
Yeah,
out
you
of breath,
you know,
worried.
sprint around the city, blah, blah, blah. And naturally, your running takes you back to the Department of Faith housing, and there you find Severus negotiating with a carriage driver
I'm
What?
going to yell.
for a
I
long-term
wanna
travel
push-
to Tarocco. Get this little of
Can't
a
I
price.
just like...
You're not gonna
can I
not
just, like,
haggle.
take my
You're gonna
horse?
pay him whatever he says.
No, can I just like...
Yo.
Can't I just like ride on my own? don't
I mean, you
fucking
can, but it's
carriage.
nicer to do in a carriage because you make more progress during the day.
I guess, yeah.
So you're haggling for
I'm-
prices. I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, I'm gonna yell. I'm
Sure.
gonna...
You
That
can-
was
you
so
might
high
swallow
pitched
that
it
one.
totally cut out.
It just cut out.
Severus!
Yeah,
That picked
what?
up.
Huh?
Sorry, I had to whisper that one. Severus, what the I'm gonna grab his face and shake him. What year is it?
What?
I don't actually know that one out of character. What year is it?
1280.
1280.
What are you talking about, Zednius? Are you okay?
He sent me a letter saying he got revived. I'll show her the letter.
Yeah, you see the letter, Renesmee. It has the stamp of Clan Varuzia, a golden seal. It is written in, I don't know if you recognize Zednius' handwriting, but it's signed at the bottom with a big old Z-E-D-N-I-U-S.
Do I recognize that this would be the clan he's from and stuff?
Yeah, certainly. He flexes about it almost, I'm not going to say constantly, but he definitely has flexed about it before.
Oh. You're going to go visit him, isn't that far?
Yes. That's why I'm trying to leave as soon as possible.
Okay, I'll come with you.
Carriage driver says, well, if we're adding another head to the journey, that's going to be another 4 gold. Especially if you want me to get you there in 2 days.
Hey, buddy.
I'm just
2
just
gold.
like glancing at him like angrily.
What? You're asking me to get you there as quickly as possible. It's like double shifts for me.
I understand, but I'm really light, and we're also judges, so we need.
I'm
a
sorry, I
good
didn't
price.
realize that being judges exempted you from costs.
No, but usually get.
I'm
this
an
better
employee
one.
of the Department of Coin, I'll have you know, unionized at that.
Oh.
How
Congratulations.
often does your caravan get robbed? Stuff like that, you know?
Caravans? Within
With carriage, I
Mithdosica
mean.
proper? Almost never. Like, it would be actually
No, like-
historical for that to take place.
Like a single car. No, I mean it's like a single carriage.
Yeah, within proper Mithdosica, within like the 5, 6 core provinces, almost never. Outside the core provinces, very frequently, but in the core provinces, almost never.
Well, we're both pretty handy, so you know.
He looks at you.
Well, how much would the total
3
be?
gold for the 2 of us.
And I take a 4-hour nap. So you get there 4 hours slower. I'll make that deal.
Sure.
Of
You-
course.
All right,
You
he
get
slaps
your
your hand. 2 of you shake on it. 3 grand for a frenzied trip across Mithdosica with a 4-hour nap in the middle of
I'll
it.
take it off my shirt.
Yeah, I assumed you just got giga scammed, but I don't
Probably.
think Severus cares that much.
Yeah, you hand over the coin, you climb into the cart, and wah! You are off. Grania and Maximus left in Mythos.
Wait,
We
Ernest,
signed
I
a
take
letter
off
with
1
them.
gold.
Where's
Wait,
it going?
take 1 gold off of your shit.
I
Severus
already
knows
took
where
off
your
3.
estate is because you told him.
No, but I meant like they just disappeared out of the city. Did they tell Maximus or
Oh,
Grania
no,
where
they
were?
did not.
No.
Okay.
So it is a day and a half of aggressive, frenzied travel across Mythdosia in the direction of Tarako, and specifically Zednius' estate, which has a name, and I'm now going to find it because I want to know. Oh, Torchio Poste. What a beautiful name. Yeah, you guys make your way to the coastline. You see that as you get closer to Tarako, so after a day and a half, by the way, your long rest, this whole 3-week period is ending in about 2 days, so you're going to have to head back pretty soon. But as you head along, you're heading along an imperial road for quite some time, but eventually you go off the main path towards sort of a dirt trail, and you see the Galantian Sea, which is the ocean between where you're currently located, you know, the mainland, and Perton, which is where you went for the whole Gela Isle thing. And as you travel along this dirt road, you see an estate. There are farmers, debt slaves, most likely, working in the fields near the estate, harvesting fire moss. Debt slaves, as both of you know, being members of the Empire, are not mistreated. They're paid a wage. They are basically just workers, but you're allowed to pay them less than, you know, normal workers. And there are also about 40 or so servants, you know, around the property. This is such an expensive estate that there is a master servant just standing on the front steps as his full-time job. These are, you know, people who have spent years and years studying to become butlers, and you guys sort of pull around the rotunda. Your cart sort of slows to a stop. The master servant descends the steps of the manor in your direction, and as the 2 of you climb out, he'll say, "Welcome to Torchio Poste. Can I help you?"
We're looking for
Does
Zednius.
this guy not recognize me? Do I
No.
recognize him?
You do not recognize him, he does not recognize you.
I've spent many a day at this estate, so well, that's weird.
Oh, you have? When?
I'm pretty sure I had like extensive training with a longbow.
I forgot you
Zednius'
spent. Yeah,
estate.
then yes, you would recognize him. He is Master Servant Cassius, one of 2 on the estate. And he would recognize you. And then I think he'll sort of nod and say, well, Judge Severus, I assume this is one of your other colleagues?
Yes, Judge Martinez may.
Wonderful.
I'll
Is,
nod my head or bow or whatever and be like, is Ednius here? Is he alright?
I'll inform Master Zednius that you're here. He can make a decision as to whether to bid you entry or not.
Okay.
He'll walk up the steps and head inside. You sort of, pace back and forth, sort of tap your feet. And when the door eventually does open, the master servant does not exit. Tullius does. He looks about the same as ever, sort of a neutral, flat expression. He seems to, his eyebrows slightly raise in acknowledgement of seeing Severus. And he says, "Ah, I see Zednius sent you a message. Well, come on in."
yes.
Uh,
It's fine if she comes too, right?
Yes, that's all right. Just, be calm. He's still recovering. Death is a harrowing experience.
Okay.
And just for the stream viewers, if you watch the previous Zednius solo, this would be prior to Hegal and him going to Nasius, but post his initial revival. But yeah, the two of you guys head inside behind Tullius. The manor is very quiet. It seems as if servants have been expressly ordered not to be in the interior of the building, because in a manor such as this, you would expect people to be going to and fro, but it's almost dead silent. You head down a corridor and approach a double set of doors, which Tullius pushes open, and a library is in the interior here. It is filled with a number of books, almost none of which are written in Common or Mythos, and sitting in a chair with a small stack of reading next to him is Zednius, and he looks downright sickly. He has pale skin, sort of haunted-looking eyes. He has a blanket pulled over him, despite it being, early spring, so the temperature isn't that cold. Yeah.
Does Ednius almost remind me of some of the necromancers? You described them as like pale, and sickly.
I think not quite that bad, because they literally look like rotting corpses, but walking corpses. But he's in that general vibe of deeply
I'll
sick.
see them. I'll look up from my book and I'll be like, "Brother, you came." And I'll try to stand up, but then I'm not strong enough, and I collapse back into my chair.
Yeah, Tullius will walk over and sort of tut his tongue. "Come on, preserve your strength. There's no honor in attempting to injure yourself further."
Ednius, we are so
You're
glad
back.
to see that you are actually alive.
Is it you?
I'll be looking
Yes.
at Tullius worryingly, almost like he's a doctor that's going to explain the diagnosis,
Yeah, he just looks back at you. "It's quite expected. Resurrection is a intense process for both the body and the mind."
But you pulled the strings for this. This must have cost a fortune and many favors.
He shrugs.
More than a fortune. I don't care. I'm happy to see you.
Well,
I'm happy to see. Oh, were you talking to Tullius?
no, I think he was talking to you.
Tullius
Tullius will interrupt and say, "Well, I'll leave you to your own devices. Don't strain him any
Wait.
further, please."
Tullius, you know about this resurrection sickness. How long will he suffer? Will he be alright?
Yeah, I'm going to keep him here for another couple weeks. It'll probably be a month or maybe longer before he rejoins the Department of Faith.
Okay. And he's going to be alright?
He looks at you, Zednius. You have already, you and him have already talked about your lack of connection to Hegal, so he will look at you and sort of raise an eyebrow and say, "Yes, I think he'll be fine given enough time."
I'll
be-
nod my head.
Back as soon as I can.
Oh,
And
of course,
I'll
there's no
look a
rush at
little-
all, Zednius.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can spend a couple hours with Zednius. Zednius, do you talk about what you... Yeah, feel free to. Go.
Let's say honestly. Well, I thought you were gone for good.
I was gone.
Yeah,
I was
but
in the
gone.
beyond the veil.
Does it,
What did you
do you
see?
actually remember any of it?
No. I don't remember any of it. I was in the. Is it the realm of souls? Is that where I was? Or
Yeah.
what is that out? I was in the realm of souls, and then I
Did you
heard
see
the hounds calling. I heard them,
They're real.
but
Of
then
course.
something pulled me through a rift, and that's the last thing I remember.
Mm.
But it's
I'm
real.
sorry. This is my fault.
Don't beat
This
yourself
wasn't
up
your
too
fault.
much. Did you get him at least?
Tullius did.
Oh, we should have gone for him before the
Almost-
fight, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it
I know.
happen. Him killing you. It was very scary. Did you feel pain?
I don't think I did, right? I just started evaporating.
Yeah, you saw your fingers evaporate, and your mind was like, "Wait, that's kind of weird," and then dead instantly.
Yeah, surprisingly, no. It was just a surprise.
What about...
I'll take like a deep breath of relief because that had been weighing on me, and I'll be like, good, and you're back. And we're good. You're good.
Yes, brother?
What about Hetagal?
Is that
I'll
all
look
okay?
down. I'm looking down. It's
Yeah.
hard to say anything.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
But just
Well,
don't
let's
feel him
not
anymore.
linger. Yeah, let's not linger on it. I don't want you to think about it too much. I'm sure he's out there and he's okay.
well, out of character, did like Hetagal get evaporated too?
Oh, you don't know,
remember
so
everything.
you can't say anything.
Yeah, true. Out of
Act
character.
like you
Don't worry
would.
about it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Hey, if you don't watch the episodes, okay, then you forfeit your metagaming.
True. I support that accent.
Forfeit your metagaming.
I support this fine New Yorker.
Thank you.
I haven't felt him since I got back. I keep trying. I'm reading, and I'll point towards the books.
Yeah, you guys recognize a number of texts. Notably, they're all written in either Mythos or Common, discussing death, symbols, symbology, religion, a number of texts, which I think instantly, both because of this whole, Galerius situation, you instantly know, like, heresy when you see it, and half these books easily fall within that category.
Oh. Wow. A very interesting selection of books that you have here.
That reminds
And I'll
me.
smirk.
That reminds me. The wizard dude, Tullius got him. But we got Galerius. Dead to rights.
Oh yeah, we submitted our report, and well, we'll probably be convicted.
Good.
Couldn't have done it
Suppose
without
Wasn't
we're-
for
you.
nothing.
Suppose they're sending you out again soon, then, huh?
Uh huh. Do you need anything? Do
Week
you
or
want
so,
us
yeah.
to send you letters or trinkets from our travels or
We came into... Well, I came into quite a bit of money too, if you need any.
I think I'll be fine on money, but if you just tell
looks
me the
around
stories.
the fucking palace?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure billionaires can buy food from my mansions. They don't need liquid money at all to buy that.
True. Based. Well,
I said basically just bring me back some good stories.
Okay.
yeah, you guys can spend a couple more hours with Zednius. Eventually, Tullius will come and shoo you out.
I want to talk to Tullius, just like...
Sure. Yeah, you spend a couple more hours with Zednius. He doesn't talk. I would imagine. I'm sort of filling the blank what I know about Zednius post that thing, but I imagine he wouldn't talk much about Hekagal or what he saw while on the Realm of
that's a
Souls.
sensitive subject.
Yeah, especially the Hekagal thing. Yeah, but he'll talk about other stuff, and I mean, most of it won't even be like things that have happened. He's only been dead for 2 weeks, but it'll be like other stuff. Time in the Frumentari, or Renesmee as a judicial duelist. But eventually, you'll be shooed out by Tullius, and while you're sort of exiting the estate, Severus, you can sort of hang back while Renesmee walks forward and get a word in with Tullius. He will just look at you,
I'm sorry, this is more of a personal matter than business, really.
Well, spit it out.
How come he is so close to Zidnius?
What do you mean? He's my adopted son.
Well, I imagine he must have trained a lot of people. He trained me.
Yes, quite a number.
How come he's the one you adopted? Must have been many before and after him.
Is this a question out of curiosity or jealousy? You know jealousy isn't befitting a Frumentari.
No, curiosity. I've accepted my place.
Well, if you must know, I see potential in Zednius that I haven't seen in many others that I've trained. There were a couple that were equal to him, but for a number of reasons they were not suitable.
See.
And you love him, Tullius. I'm not there.
Yeah, nor does he say that.
There's this. It's like a lot of understanding.
Either way, it was good work that you did with Galerius.
You know, I think I've asked this before. The Department of Magic is difficult to get through, and auctions are ridiculous and time-consuming. Is there any way to procure specific magic items legally?
No.
That aren't, worthy of an emperor's wage?
Not really. The best way to obtain, the best way to obtain things in the field is to acquire them for yourselves and then return them post-haste. In terms of permanent acquisition, typically going to foreign markets is the best way. The Delian League is a very opportune market at the moment due to the, post-Morgotha founding glut of magical items found within many of their cities, but within the Empire itself, the Department of Magic is quite restrictive. I can get around it, but I always prefer to go foreign if I'm attempting to purchase things permanently.
Yeah. Do you have any contacts through which I could purchase things foreignly?
Not that I trust enough. Typically, I go there personally. You're talking in the sums of millions of pence. Very few can be trusted with that amount. I once had a Frumentari that was embedded in Goderluca. I raised the man, knew him for about 11 years in total, and one day he received about 27 million pence to purchase something for my usage, and he simply disappeared. He eventually got what was coming for him, but that amount of money tempts men, even good men of the Empire.
Yeah. That's unimaginable wealth. Many people would be tempted.
Next time you find yourself having some leave, you can go to Hago or Zuri, 2 cities in the Delian League, both of which have them a glut of magical items that they sell in open auction. Yeah. In Zuri, you can even get them from private collectors. They're cheaper than they are in the Empire.
Yeah, I've just been trying to get a magic bow, but it's... Well, you would know it's incredibly difficult. With the Empire. I'll have to do with arrows. But thank you for your advice, and thank you a lot for what you did for Zednius.
He shrugs. He'll pat you on the shoulder. And, you guys get back in the carriage and make your way back to Mythos. So, you guys have been, by you guys I mean Severus and Renesmee, you guys have been hopping around quite a bit the last couple days. Last 3 weeks. So you're not actually going to get that much time to learn the Grania stuff. Obviously, when you're on the road with her, you can. But that last week is basically just spent traveling to Tarako and then back. So Severus and Renesmee, you can both add 8 progress to your, Imperial Sign Language proficiency. Maximus, if you wish, you can also add 4.
How do you
I
add
would rather.
8 progress, huh?
Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna continue my progress on my unarmed strikes proficiency.
Okay.
Did I have any progress on it previously?
Yeah,
is
I
this
think you
the
could
first
add 1
aid?
or 2, because I believe you were starting to learn on Gala Eye, although not in like an explicit like long rest context.
Imperial Sign Language.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confused.
What are you confused about?
How do I
Oh,
add it?
it's a really, yeah, you just do 8 out of 40 Imperial Sign Language. It's just very, it's not
This
meant
will
for
be
that,
like
but
9
that's
out
how
of
we record it.
40.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like that, yeah. What else? Granny did all this stuff. She wanted Severus. Okay, so Maximus on the 20.
You're giga lagging.
I am? Why?
He didn't
Not on
lag
my
for
side.
me.
Oh, everyone's
Yeah.
lagging.
Oh, Dota's dying. Oh god, the tornadoes are coming. No!
Oh no, he is in Tornado Alley, isn't he?
He is in Tornado Alley.
Is he actually? Oh
Yes.
shit. That's terrifying.
Yeah, he had a 100-mile tornado near his house a couple days ago.
That's terrifying.
Or 100-mile per
That
hour
is
wind
so
tornado.
Yeah, that is
scary.
incredibly terrifying.
Yeah, it's very spooky.
I would move the fuck out of that place.
Well,
True.
luckily the next
If I
thing
could.
doesn't... Oh no, the storms, they're getting Dota. Well, luckily the next thing isn't with him, and I'm sure he'll be fine. No storms, surely. Oh,
Oh no, Ethan died as well.
Ethan's dead. Wonka W.
Rip.
Everyone's dying.
Oh no.
Ethan, are you there?
Is anyone there?
Yeah, hi, Dota.
Yes, we all here.
There we are.
Really
Yeah.
did not hear anyone for when I rejoined. Like it just didn't connect properly.
Pog.
Wait, it happened to you too, Ethan?
Yeah. Yeah. I have no
That's
clue why.
concerning. You guys are like 700 miles away or something further than that. Well, anyways, Maximus, hi.
Yes.
On the 27th, you get to do your thing. Your meeting.
Oh, sick. Before that, I did come up with a couple other things I wanted to look into buying.
Awesome. Hit me.
First off is Mickey is currently trapezing around in scale mail, I believe.
That is
Because
also what I
decided
believe.
The cost of plate for a horse was too extravagant.
It was disgustingly expensive.
No longer.
What is it? I'm gonna have
All right.
to remind myself.
Let's
decide if
remind
it's
ourselves.
still
Well, first let's
extravagant.
double check that he's actually in scale mail. What do you have on the Mickey
has an-
inventory thing?
He has an AC of 17.
Is that
I
accurate?
think
Let me
that-
double check my Mickey
that-
token
Or
because I do have a
no,
separate
that might be
Mickey
half
sheet.
plate. I know he has an AC of 17. That is his AC.
Okay.
Whatever armor adds up to that is what he has.
I think he actually has 18 because you have your Centurion thing, or not Centurion, Jesus, Cavalier thing that gives him an extra +1 AC, right?
I
Something
don't
like
have
that.
anything that gives him an extra +1 AC.
Okay, never mind. He does have 17 then. Okay, so the cost. I don't know what he's currently wearing. I just know what his AC is. So in terms of what it would actually cost, though, let's take a look. We got normal plate armor, non-mithril, normal plate, costs 250 GP for a human.
Yes.
For a horse, it will cost 1,000 gold.
Okay, so you do follow the times 4 thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Chad, yes.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely, he will drop
Hey,
that.
how much?
1,000 gold.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, Maximus, add somewhere on Mickey's sheet, add plate armor. I adjusted his AC to 18.
What's wrong?
Absolute Chad. There's no way I have 4. Oh, that's what it is. Yes, Maximus has spent an ungodly amount of gold to get like +1 AC
Yeah.
on.
Also, this is a callback that only you remember, Ethan, but back in Riemann campaign, this is why there were so few heavy cavalry in West Bars, because each fucking cavalryman costs like millions of
You know what?
fucking dollars.
That makes sense. Yeah, that actually makes complete
Yeah, there was
sense.
like 50 cavalry in that whole war, because each heavy knight costs millions of dollars.
100% understandable.
Yeah. Also, did you level up to 9?
No.
No, okay, good, because Mickey gains health when you do, so I just wanted to double check on that. Okay, that's
Who
all
did get the
good.
9? Is it just Severus? And
I think
someone
it's-
I believe just Severus.
Is it Severus?
Renesmee said she was,
I
but she
thought that I
didn't put it
was.
in yet.
Oh, okay.
I know
No, I
Granny is
haven't put it
behind.
in.
All right, then.
Can Mickey get like the really fancy, like it has like engravings and shit on it? Like,
Yes. When you pay
You wanna pay
when
more.
you pay $1 million, at that point, we're talking custom fitted. We're talking any engravings you want. We're talking if you want to put symbols on it or your personal insignia. Hell, if you want to go commission an artist to make your personal insignia and then get it put on the horse, that can all be included. Like you're getting the, Gucci experience. You're getting like the
it's dripped the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It has like
Perfect.
depictions of my time in the wars. Has my fucking is a house crest a thing?
It is, but yeah, you could get the Clan Ignia crest, a burning flame.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It had, and it stripped the fuck out. Mickey is feeling pampered.
All right, good to know.
Actually, just feeling exert.
True, he's just being a horse. True.
Well, no. How dare you? How dare you imply Mickey doesn't have feelings?
True. One could also say that he's horsing around. Anyways, so yeah, on the 27th.
One could say that, but should one? Oh, and then the books that I wanted to buy.
Yeah.
When I was making the new character that had the background of Inquisitor, it said that part of the background equipment is a book of canon law. Are there like law books that Maximus could buy?
Oof. Yeah, so for Inquisitors, it's way easier because they just need their religious law, which is basically it's something called Musings on the Summa Theologica, which is a pretty standard text. I also want that.
Okay,
so you can buy the Summa Theologica if you don't already have it, which is like the Bible, basically. Then the musings on that, which will cost another, whatever. Then the problem
that's like religious law.
That's the secular law books though are literally you just can't carry those with you. There's too many of them.
Is there like shortened secular law book?
There is the core secular laws, which were laid down during the days of the Republic, but all the specific. The way that law books work, and this is also in real life, kind of, is that you have like,
So what I just need a book of like the laws that I can apply to our goings about outside. So I don't need like the fucking nitty gritty shit.
Well, the nitty gritty is actually how the laws are made. That's the fucked up part. But yeah, you can.
He needs the travel version.
At the beginning of the time, I go to some fucking like twink scribe law boy and get him to fucking write me a custom law book.
Oh, okay. Law for dummies. I understand now. It all makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that's going to cost you 30 gold to get a custom scribe.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't
and then 4 gold for the other 2 things. So you can add Summa Theologica, parentheses, just to remind yourself, do like parentheses Bible, musings on the Summa Theologica. Oh, yeah. I will just type these things in the chat and you can just copy them.
That'd be greatly appreciated. How much do each of these weigh? Like
£2. Every book weighs the exact same.
Because
Law for Dummies.
It's well known that every book is the exact same size.
Basically for this, because 99% of the weight is in the binding, not the pages.
You know what? Good point. And Law for Dummies. Custom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to include that because Maximus was important.
Yeah, and that's just going to include like basic, normal secular law with recommended sentencing.
Yes, precisely. So that now
and it's going to put it in very plain language.
Now I don't have to roll a fucking history check every time I want to know if I should cut off the dude's hands or
Based. Yeah. Anyways, the quick tangent I was going to go on, which I can do while you're adding these to your inventory, is that in real life, the way law books are formed is that you have something base, like the Constitution, and then every single case that is done, base as in like the foundation, not based as in good, and then you have every subsequent case after that adds into something called the body of case law, and those are law books. What law books, legal books, literally are just this case happened, this was the reasoning of the judge, and this is the way the case went. And so over the course of 300 years, you end up getting literally dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens of books.
You're telling me the bar exam back in like 1780 was just this really easy constitutional test, and I should go be?
Well, no, because they had English common law as well, which had all the English cases. I'm sure in 1155 it was probably pretty easy because they didn't have that much English common law yet. But
go back to fucking the days of Hammurabi's code.
It's so true. Anyways, on the 27th, Maximus.
It was on the big block in the town square.
Based, very shrimple. Yeah, you can have your little meeting.
Okay.
So, all of you guys have returned to the capital. This is post Zedny, this is post everything. You all make your way to the capital. You're here. And you go to the inn paid for by the Department of Faith. Grania, Renesmee, Severus, you're learning a bit of sign language. And then Maximus will join you.
All right.
What do you
Hello,
got,
everyone.
Maximus?
Have you all enjoyed your 3-week vacations? I certainly enjoyed mine. Well,
Yeah.
yes,
Zetnius is
absolutely
alive.
I did. Oh, really?
Yeah, he's recovering at his mansion. Estate. Yeah.
He's a mansion?
Yeah, an estate.
Well, that's kind of cool. Never knew that. Is he, like, all there?
Mentally, I think so.
Oh,
He's not recovering from the whole experience, physically and mentally.
but that's not quite what I was asking. Is he all there? Did they get all of his like ashes together? Is that how it works?
Oh, I don't think if that's exactly how it works.
Oh,
But from what I could tell, he seemed sickly, but I think all of his parts were attached.
I'd probably be sickly too if I had just died, came back. So it's good that he's going to be okay. Well,
Yeah.
do you all remember the cursed set of armor that we acquired from, I believe, the cult on Gila Isle? Is that where we got it, Alex?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
No. I lost 2 pounds for confessions. Well, I kept that. I was never going to ever put it on because that sounds awful. So I decided to give it to the Department of Magic, who I think auctioned it off, and they gave me a percentage of the sale. It was a lot. So I have a lot of money now. So if there's anything exotic that any of you all want,
So,
I can-
you mean like an enchanted bow?
don't have that much money. I'm sorry. That is like above 10 million pence.
You have 10 million pence?
No, the whole point is I don't have 10 million pence.
You have
Like
nearly
10.
10 million pence?
No, I do not. That
Wait, how
is-
much did you make?
I believe before
He's
I
thinking of
started
which number to say.
spending, I had probably 6 million. I have maybe half that left
Christ.
now.
Oh, I was muted.
What?
LOL.
Oh,
Huh?
hi, Peach.
Hi, Harkon. You
It's
said
me.
once upon a time that there is a kind of scale mail made of like Hydra scales or
Yeah,
something that's
certainly.
expensive,
Oh,
but
yeah.
that could improve my AC.
All true.
Unless
have metal,
something
though?
changes,
No,
not
it does not.
expensive as we thought.
No, the Hydra studded leather armor is not as expensive. The scale is just as expensive because it needs to be old Hydras.
Oh right, yeah, the scale's expensive on the stuff.
Yeah, I
But
got
the
myself
scale
started
is
there because it was
better.
cheap.
It is the I remember I rewatched the VOD, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's past me said that was the only way to improve your AC. So if I trust my past self, then yeah, I think that's the only way to increase your AC.
Okay,
Without
and
wearing
it
metal.
doesn't fuck with
Ring
my
of protection.
dex.
It doesn't fuck with my dex. No, it doesn't change your dex. It does do something though. It does. I think
Doesn't
it
it
gives
give
you
disadvantage
disadvantage
on
on. Yeah, I was about to say that. I think it gives you disadvantage on stealth. Wait, what's your strength?
Also,
No, it doesn't matter. Never
Her
mind. Don't
strength
answer
is
that.
like really high.
It
right?
also doesn't matter because Scammo doesn't require strength.
Yeah.
So
my
we'll give you
strength is
disadvantage.
16 in total.
Yeah, give you disadvantage on stealth, but other than that, yeah, it would increase your AC by like 1, I think. Let me double check the exact number.
I
Yeah,
just
it'd be
possible
1.
to make like plate mail out of non-metals,
Yeah,
like bone plates.
no.
what kind of
Well, there is. It's dragon bone
plate,
plate,
non
but
metal?
That sounds very expensive.
not purchasable
Yeah,
Ah,
probably.
that would do it, wouldn't it?
because there's not a single
I'll
dragon on
ask-
this continent that is huntable.
I guess-
this con.
Officially.
I'll ask Maximus if he can just hunt down anything magical that would improve our abilities. If he's able to, that would be fucking fantastic.
That reminds me, I heard I asked Tullius about that stuff, and I heard that to the east of here, well, I'll speak about it twice actually. To the east of here, there's in the what was it called, the leagues?
The Delian
Delian
League.
Delian Leagues. Hago, something like that. Some town with
Hago.
H.
Hey, go.
That you can buy stuff for fairly cheap compared to here, in that town.
Oh, let's go
I have
there.
no idea how far that is, and we have an assignment pretty soon though.
Yeah,
Oh.
let's go there. Why not? Sounds good.
What?
Right now?
I don't think we have time for that, do we? How far is that, Hakon?
I think it's about as far as the city-state from what I recall.
Which is how far?
1,700 miles.
Which is how far in travel time?
Weeks.
That sounds.
Yeah, we don't have
Maximus,
any time.
no, it was you, Severus. You're the one that asked me this, and I was like, I think it's a month round trip. So if you get to the start of one of these big long rests, then you could probably try to bounce over and bounce back, or you could pay a fuck ton of money for a teleportation.
How much is the fuck ton?
It'd be a dice roll times 100, so probably a couple hundred gold just
What?
to get there.
What type of dice roll and how many people per teleport?
8 people per teleport, and I don't remember the dice roll at the top of my head.
Yeah, okay, that's not.
Actually, so it's half the distance. It's actually half the distance as a
Hold on.
city-state.
There's something very important I need to check real quick, because I might be getting that spell next level.
Teleport?
Teleportation circle?
Oh, no, not circle. I mean the actual teleport spell, because for the circle to work, you need to know the glyphs of a circle, and they don't hand those out forever.
Oh, they don't?
Not really, no.
That makes sense,
Unless
actually.
you're
Incredibly fucking valuable
Wizard
information.
Illuminati.
Unless you're in the Wizard and Illuminati, which he's joking, but that literally does exist, so.
I wasn't joking.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Geralt
forget
is
that-
part of it.
Oh, yeah,
Some
I forgot you knew about the Wizard Illuminati. I forgot you were aware of that.
So wait, taking that spell is useless then?
Unless you get into the Wizard Illuminati, yes.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Wizard Illuminati. Or you
We
create
could
your
use
own
it together.
teleportation circle. network.
Netnius could get it, and then we could start making our own.
Zednius cannot get in. He's not a wizard.
Yeah.
Teleportation circle? Yes, he can.
No,
We
he's
just-
not a wizard. He
I
can't
can
be in the
learn-
Wizard
we can learn the
Illuminati.
spell, but we don't know the sigils to actually do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You also
I
need to
thought
be a
we
wizard to
make
join
one
them.
to each other.
Wait. Okay, so Hakon, he said half the distance. Does that mean you cost less to teleport, or is it
No,
cost
no,
the same either way?
it always costs the same to teleport. It's that you could get there way quicker. It'd take about 11 days to get there and 11 days back. So if you get like a 3-week long rest. Actually, so if we zoom back 3 weeks ago, then yeah, you could have gotten there and got back.
Yeah, but we didn't know at that time, so
Correct, which
there's
is
no
fine.
retconning.
Yeah. I'm just saying next time, if there's 3 weeks.
Also, we wouldn't have been here for Zednius.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying do it this time. I'm saying next time, if you have 3 weeks, do it. Because you can.
How dangerous and illegal is this?
It's incredibly illegal. The Department of Magic will, because you're smuggling. Because when you go there and you buy your magical items, the Department of Magic is designed to handle these things. So they have like border checkpoints and things like that. You guys would be using your clout as judges and your, Severus abilities to hide these things and smuggle them into the Empire. So you are now guilty of smuggling magical items, which is a death penalty offense and borderline
Oh yeah,
treason.
Maximus is going to shoot that down immediately then.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
And
but
he's
how does Tullius
somewhat-
do it then?
Because
He's
he's
somewhat
really good at
ganky
his
with the
job.
Yeah, but like,
And he's also a direct servant of the Emperor, so if he gets in hot water, he has a bailout.
Yeah. Also, you personally know Tullius breaks the law like almost daily.
All the time.
Yeah. He is murdered like
In the name of
clerics
the Emperor.
constantly.
yeah, like remember
Renesmee,
when
if-
Renesmee were talking about demons? Good times.
Yeah.
If
What?
you have located a pearl of power that you just haven't been able to buy yet, perhaps that would
Yeah, at the end of the world to the west, I
be a
think.
good use of it.
Oh, yes. Use of what? Sorry, huh?
Money.
Good money.
Oh. We could hire someone, that is true. We did find
Oh.
where it was.
Wait, you found one?
Yes, I mean, we could buy one, but we... Sorry, I'm
Huh?
confused what you're saying.
Yes, yes, I have money. We could buy one if you know where to buy one from.
Oh, no, I don't know where to buy one. We can check in with the
Oh.
Department of Magic and see if they've got any available in the last couple days.
They will
Um,
sell those.
That seems
I
unlikely.
think they already said that.
Oh, wait. and
I think
the
we
only
inquired
place-
about those at the past, and they said that those are usually given to war mages of high ranks.
The only place we would buy them legally is the... Yeah, never mind.
Well, I
Auctions.
know where one is. It's just going to take too long.
Where is it?
We would have to go... In the Light Wars, they were used. The priests lost them, but they had fuck tons of pearls of power. It was about 50 or 60 years ago in the Civil War. The battle took place on the Clovian Bridge. It took place in the west of Mythos along a river there.
Which we have a very convenient little teal X mark from where Peach started excavations by enslaving graduate students.
That doesn't
What?
seem that far at all. That's like
Wait, when did she
that's
enslave
like 28
graduate
miles.
students?
What do you mean?
During the previous long
And
rest.
enslave them.
Okay. You just said,
I
hey,
guess-
you're graduate students. You have nothing better to do
No.
here. Come dig
No,
some
no,
fucking
Alex,
trenches for me for
misunderstood.
credit.
Unpaid internships aren't
They
slavery.
are unpaid.
Yeah,
And
That's
where's
the
the
you're getting...
where on this is this the Galerian League?
The
So
the
we need to
Delian
come
League.
here.
The city.
Delian.
It's everything along this bay.
Oh,
What
This
bay?
is this bay. All this whole. I'm gonna make the arrow. All of this is the Delian League, technically.
Okay, and where's the Hago
Well.
town?
Yeah, like I said, Ethan, technically. And this is Hago.
Hago.
I mean,
hmm
technically not. They're not. some
Okay,
of the
but
cities
we
aren't part
gotta
of
keep
the
it simple,
Delian
Ethan.
League
We gotta
anymore.
keep it simple, Ethan.
Wait, what happened to
Okay,
the
well.
Delian League?
Don't worry about it. Okay, it's complicated. It was a whole ass campaign.
Is it in the past or in the future?
Neither. No, it isn't the
Current?
past.
What?
No, it isn't. the
600
past.
miles per boat,
I
roughly.
mean neither.
It's about on a really expensive boat would be 70 miles a day. On a cheap boat, like on a normal shipping liner, that is not a valid trail, to be clear. So whenever you're making a boat trail, just keep in mind that you have to stay very close to the coastline. So you have to do these like very almost like fractal things where you're like sticking within miles and miles of the coast. Because
Yeah, I'm doing this like
So
super
dangerous.
roughly, and
Yeah.
it's like roughly 600 miles.
roughly 600, which if we're talking an average cargo ship would take it exactly 12 days.
The more detailed you get along the coastline, the longer it's going to be.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
How
Of course.
detailed? How detailed? do you-
The real answer is within visual range in terms of this level of measuring, and, get kind of close-ish. Because the whole point is that they sail within sight of the coast. That's what they do.
Ah,
So
Yeah, that would do it.
yeah. So,
Well,
anyways, well, that's can't happen this rest. Next rest, the Pearl Power thing is a cool idea, but for reasons that your characters wouldn't quite be able to fathom, well, actually, no, they would. They would know that they're on duty for being called upon by the Department of Faith. So if they go prepare an expedition to go dig in a river in search of pearls of power,
Man,
that probably
that's-
would not be wise.
It's not even 30 miles away.
True. I guess that is true. Yeah,
it's so close.
it is indeed quite close.
Can't we just do a little bit? Just a
Well,
little Harkon? This is the most I've seen fucking sea hags, and I've seen beasts that aren't supposed to exist, and I can't find an uncommon magic item.
Well, they're actually rare in Valoros.
That's what I was about to add. Everything gets upgraded to tier in Valors.
Alex is
Because there's no such thing as a common magical item in Valoros.
stinky.
True.
I'm so sad.
I know. It's a real tragedy. Honestly, here's the thing. If you said if you didn't say you wanted it, I wouldn't have actually gone through and been like, oh, okay, where would a Pearl of Power be? I would have just never mentioned it. So, there's a higher chance of you getting it since you vocalized it than if you hadn't vocalized it. Think about that.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I've
It's been a
literally never
year.
given anyone a Pearl of Power before, so...
What does a Pearl of Power do?
Spell
Why do you
slot
want
shit.
one so badly?
Spell slot
Yeah,
shit.
it gives
That's
you a spell slot every day, which I was between that and my +1 AC cloak. The reason why my heart hurts is I I said that I wanted to bring a Pearl of Power, and then I changed my mind and I said the cloak, and then I changed my mind again. I was like, no, actually I want the Pearl of Power.
You know what
By
the really
that
tragic
time-
thing is, Peach? It wouldn't be once a day, it'd be once a week.
What do you mean?
Well, so we use extended
right.
rest rules, and for most
Anything
magical
that's
items...
daily or the short rest is instead long rest.
Yeah.
basically.
But I'm pretty sure
I have
the
the-
Pearl of Power says once daily.
It does say daily.
Yeah, once
but-
daily,
like
But
but
Doja
it's
Valorous
said.
like
says that's otherwise.
once
Yeah.
daily is in default D&D rules intended to be once a long rest.
Yeah,
So,
so
to
it'd be
keep that in mind with with a weekly
once a week.
long rest instead of one day, it's
Wait, but I'm so confused. It says once a day. It doesn't.
It
say
does say
for
that.
short.
What it says doesn't matter
Yes.
for Valorous. Anything that says short rest is instead long rest, basically.
Or if
doesn't
it
say
says
once-
daily.
It doesn't say that.
Yeah,
It says
or if it
every
says daily,
dawn
it's
on
weekly.
there.
Yeah.
It says every dawn. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so if it's daily, it's weekly.
Oh, then why do I care about a Pearl of Power? I wouldn't
Because you get an
care
extra
about
spell
that.
slot once a week.
Well, I mean, I will say
The
I
whole
use
reason
something
I
similar
cared
to my
was
magic
because I was
Oh,
gonna be
well, that's why it's an
one
uncommon
slot.
item. Now, there are higher level more rare magical items that do give you daily spell slots, but those are like artifact level. Because think about that, right? You're casting 7 extra spells a week, which is like as many spell slots as some casters have. So for like a warlock, that would be nothing. But for like a wizard or something, they would never have to rest. They could just basically, live off of Pearl Power. So there are things like
so
that. They're just,
sad.
giga
'Cause
artifact
my
level rare.
the whole reason why I wanted it so bad so long was because it said like every dawn.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
So
It's
I
not a bad
have
thing
to,
because
like-
my magic item is literally a Pearl of Power in the same sense that once per long rest I can just use it to regain a spell slot back.
True. And
You
it helps
also get
granny
the
quite a bit.
+1 to your saves, though, right? Or to your magic attacks or something.
I believe
it gives
so,
a +1
yeah.
to something. Yeah.
Yeah. On the bright side, though, if you continue to search for a Pearl of Power, if you get multiple of them, that'd be pretty pog. Then you get multiple spell slots.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know they stacked.
And I don't know why they wouldn't.
A ring of spell storing would probably be sick as well.
That would be
Probably
wicked.
better than a.
That's
we
that's
had-
even better.
We had one on us once, but we gave it back.
In this campaign?
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
remember
wizard-
this. Yeah.
The
Oh my
old wizard
gosh.
let us borrow it to fight the.
God, if you guys had stolen that, it would have been
Necromortis guy.
so over.
Well, I did steal it, but we never vocalized it, so you said I gave it back.
Correct, because you never vocalized it.
It was conveniently
I have
misplaced.
to vocalize taking it off my sheet.
Okay, because the alternative is that you just like you would giga nuke your reputation with the Department of
You
Faith.
never asked for the back.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro.
That was
Anyways,
like a year ago, though. So
that was like a year ago. Well, not in the game, but in real life, yeah. So you guys finish up the long rest.
Oh yeah. Okay. We never really walked out of that.
Yeah, we never did,
Your
but
idea of
yeah.
if anyone wanted anything. Does anyone want anything?
Granny wouldn't ask, so no.
based.
If there was anything that would up my
I remember,
Anything,
yes,
any magical
that,
item.
The answer is generally
scale
no.
mail was
Scale mail.
was
Yes.
mentioned.
True.
Leather scale mail.
I don't think that it's
What
worth
about for
getting a
Severus?
minus for my stealth.
Hmm.
Oh, is that how that works?
It would give her disadvantage on stealth. Yes.
Oh.
well, what about the Hydra studded then? Wouldn't that be?
It's worse
still
for her
better?
because she doesn't have good dex.
That does give disadvantage on. You know what doesn't?
Yeah.
And that has the same modifier for that.
What?
Breastplate. She can't
A
wear metal.
breastplate. Oh,
Druid beams.
Yeah.
what about
So
out?
anything-
Is it-
Anything
Also,
at all
can't wear
that's
studded
magical
leather.
that will improve my AC.
Yes,
Even
ring
the
of
Department
protection,
Magic had
cloak of
had
protection.
Really great,
She has the cloak. She
I
would
have
need a
that.
ring.
Oh.
Does
Okay.
she have a shield proficiency?
Yes, but you can only use wooden shields because,
Oh,
No.
That's
druid.
Oh, is that like a +1 or a plus nothing?
It's a shield is still a +2. I think it'll just break.
Shield. Yeah, even a wooden
If it's
shield is
wood.
+2 to AC.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Would
So
it
a
just
ring
break
of
earlier?
what's it called, protection? If you
Mhm.
can find it.
you will not.
That seems. I'm
I'll
not
warn
gonna
you
lie.
now.
If Maximus found a ring of protection, he would just wear it.
Okay, question: can we go
Jesus
to the
Christ.
Department of Magic together and ask them what they have, and then, our lovely god DM will tell us what they have, and I'll tell you.
You know what?
if
Yeah, I
wanna
can
know.
actually
Surely they
ask
won't
them.
just.
We can actually
Surely they won't
ask
just
them
let
what
you
they
guys
have.
out the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Renesmee can go to the Department of Magic. You can't, but that's okay.
Why not?
You're a part of Clan Ignia, you rat, disgusting Department of Magic
But
creature.
who asked last
does
time
that
and
mean,
they were
does
okay
that
giving
mean
it to
my
him?
my money?
I think it was
money is
Zednius.
worse?
Yeah, it does
Zednius
make
is
your
in
money
my
worse.
clan.
No, I know. So you can go, but Maximus can't.
Okay.
So they were perfect. Wait, they were perfectly happy to give me
Accept
money,
it,
but
yeah.
they were very
You get
upset
it
about
perfectly
taking it
fine.
back?
Yeah, because you're trying to buy magical items from them. It's pretty. I feel like it's pretty clear.
Giving you power instead of taking away power.
Exactly.
Okay, I actually just debated them because I gave them a fucking cursed plate of.
Yeah, you think
super-
they can't get rid of the
Literally
curse and then
use it to
just
study it.
or give it to like a death brigade
Or
and
give it curse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so what they have in stock is a fuck ton of potions, a fuck ton of scrolls, and then they have one moment. They have Gauntlets of Ogre Power, Nature's Mantle, a Brooch of Shielding, Javelin of Lightning, Bracers of Archery.
What's a brooch of shielding do?
A Brooch of Shielding, if I recall correctly, allows you to use a reaction to
The
gain
shield
more
spell.
AC. I think.
Oh.
Oh no, that's not what I thought at all. Gives you resistance to force damage and makes you immune to the magic missile spell.
Oh,
No one
interesting.
Based.
What about Gauntlets of Ogre Power?
Gives you 18 AC, I think, maybe 19 AC, something
No,
like
it's
that.
19 strength.
No, sorry, strength. I was thinking the right thing, but I said the wrong thing. Gives you 19 strength.
That's just
The Brooch of Shielding could be OP if we were actually facing a lot of magic casters and we had someone who needed to get good concentration, but other than that,
What else? Javelin of Lightning.
Javelin of
is
Lightning,
where-
Nature's Mantle, Bracers of Archery, Cloak of Protection,
Wait, braces of archery.
Bracers of Archery.
Cloak of Protection, you say?
Yeah, I do
have
say
that
that.
already.
Yeah, you
Sure,
have it.
yes.
Maximus doesn't.
How much would one of those be?
Let me roll.
much for you.
It honestly, maybe not. They're not that rare.
I think we have 2 of them in the other campaign, right?
Yeah, I think so. They're not
Wait,
that rare. Laya has one, I
I
think.
don't know.
I think it's just her.
I thought Yannick had
Oh,
one.
was it the one that Rush used to have and he gave it to me?
Maybe. I don't know. Rush has the disadvantage cape right now.
Oh, right.
Wait, why did I just roll
Or-
that? It should have been
Was it like the Cloak of
Placement?
Elven Kind or something like that? Something weird?
Maximus. It is
That
2,100
is what
gold
Severus has that gives him
Yeah.
advantage on the
for the cloak of
What's
protection.
the Rush thing called?
That is
Displacement?
I think
Oh,
it is
yeah.
like the cloak of displacement. That sounds right.
I will
We
be
gotta have
okay.
some
I will
crazy
pass.
assassin lady.
Was she crazy? I thought she just had the one magical item.
Crazy as in the way she acted, and then we, did some things to her.
Okay, that sounds worse than it actually is. All they did was torture her to death. Okay, that's different.
Oh, okay.
Not even just
Well, that
torture her
makes
to
sense.
death. We literally torture her,
Paraded
I don't know,
around the
basically
town.
killed her.
Yeah,
and
but
then
that's
brought
just
her
like
back over and
asserting,
over
you
until
know-
she gave up information and paraded
Wait,
around
so
town
we're
to make
saying
sure
that-
people wouldn't mess with us.
We're saying that all common, like by default, common magic items would be something that's
Iron
realistically
Bands of
available.
Valaro.
No, why? I don't know. Where did you get that from?
Wait, because you were like counting down a list, and it sounded like just.
And what?
Wait, you went down a list. I thought it was just like common magic items.
No, these are just what's available there right now.
Oh man, the braces
Wait,
are
sorry.
sick. Plus
Wait, where's the
2
list?
to
It's in the
rolls and
chat.
attacks.
Ah,
Get those.
Are rogues the only one that get free action for potion interactions?
I don't even
Rogues
think
get
it's
free
rogues
action
get that.
potion?
Maybe not free
Question,
action. Was it bonus
can
action? Because we
you-
went against somebody like that.
Can you stack
Maybe.
cloaks?
No. You also have
Yeah,
2
we're-
ring slots as well. Only 2.
But I have 5 fingers.
How many
Interesting.
amulet
True.
slots?
1. Unless you have 2 heads, then you have 2.
Genius.
Okay. There's one more item.
Iron Bands of Valaro. How much are those?
Let me go check. One sec.
Portions
Okay,
of
boom,
a Zephyr.
done.
There you go. You could get those for Mickey.
Okay. Yeah, that's the entire list of what they have available to them.
Yeah, they're underestimating the prices of most of this thing.
Okay. What'd you ask me about?
The Iron Bands of Valaro.
Roll 5d10.
Oh god. Maybe we'll get really lucky.
That's not that much.
That's more than I'm willing
50
to spend
gold?
on.
So true.
No,
If they all roll 1, they're 5 gold.
that's not. Nope. You guys are forgetting to multiply it by 100.
Or 1,000,
It's
or
100.
10,000,
Or
or
1,000.
Oh, well.
this will be 2,100 gold.
wait, what about the horseshoes of a Zephyr? I'd assume Maximus is super into that stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
just roll
let's,
5d10, Maximus.
All right,
What about
then.
the archery bracers?
5d10. Oh, actually, we already rolled for the archery bracers. Those
Oh,
are
it's
2,100. Iron Bands of Valaro, 2,100. The Horseshoes of a Zephyr are 30,000.
What do
30,000.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yep, impossible.
How much are the gauntlets of ogre power?
Roll 5d10.
Those are probably the tens of thousands as well. If I had to guess.
Well, if it's all
Surely I'll
5
roll they roll like a 5.
No,
Those
you're
are
right.
2,200.
Oh, 2,200, not 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah, 2,200.
Gold, though.
2,200. All of this is in gold because if we put it in pence, it's like disgusting. The Horseshoe of Zephyr is 30 million. The Gauntlets of Overpower 2.1 million. Sorry, 2.2
Wow.
million.
Those
Is
are
anyone here
chatted.
not wearing a cloak?
Yeah.
Granny.
Who?
The cloak is
Granny?
also
Okay.
2100.
How much? would
Oh,
the
we didn't
Nature's
roll for the
Mantle
bracers.
be?
One sec. I'm curious what the bracers cost.
Much.
20.
No.
Nature's Mantle. Nature's Mantle, roll a 5d10 Peach. We'll see how much it costs.
Okay, so.
Really
5D.
roll.
Ooh.
That will be
Pretty
1200 gold.
Got it. It's still
I think that's
really
the I think that's the
expensive.
first thing in your price range, though.
That's cheap.
I mean, a lot of this is like I can buy it.
That'd be good
Oh.
for
I can buy, in fact,
Grania.
I can buy everything except for horseshoes.
Grania would not want to use this. It's meant
Fine.
for rangers and druids.
So you could trade
Also-
your cloak of protection to her if it's better than what you have.
I mean, I'll let you know
Well,
now.
no, I
Granny's
need
probably
my
not
AC.
It's not though. The Nature's Mantle seems incredibly useless.
Oh,
What do you mean?
It's not great.
It helps her
It's
disguise.
just a focus.
Yeah, it helps her
you
hide. Yeah, exactly.
She does hide all the time. You know?
So true.
Well, not yet, but she just came in.
2100, you say, Alex?
For
a
what?
Cloak of protection.
I
Oh
meant-
my god. Yeah, it is.
Oh god, how much for the Auschwitz braces again?
Also 2100.
2500. I forgot.
25?
Yeah, it's 2500.
And it was 30,000 for the gauntlets of Ogre Power?
No. Those are 2100. The horseshoes of Zephyr are 30,000.
Yeah, I just looked them up. Those things are chatted.
Yeah, they make you
Yeah.
get Bucephalus, bro. Your horse starts
The
flying.
gauntlets of Ogre Power are kind of like insane as well.
They're not
Are
that
they?
good. It's only 19 strength. I'm pretty sure Maximus already has that.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
you
you
should know
know,
what it is
Severus
for.
doesn't.
Sure, but would he be
Oh,
would he
yeah.
use strength?
I mean,
What are you gonna
I'm
do?
not gonna
I have
spend
8 strength
2100
normally.
Wouldn't you
I'm not
prefer
gonna
make
spend 2100
bracers?
gold against Severus 19 strength. That's,
Wouldn't you prefer bracers of archery to the
Yeah,
Oh,
the
that's
bracers
overpowered.
are way better.
Braces only give me 2 more damage.
And 2 more to hit.
I think.
No, it's
And
not
Compared
to hit, it's not
strength,
to
that
hit.
gives you
Oh, it is
nothing.
just
compared to the
damage.
strength
It's
giving
just
you a
damage.
True, it is
All
just
they
a
add-
damage.
compared to the gauntlets of ogre power giving you a whopping 0 damage.
Except they give me like lots of opportunities
Oh
for
my.
you know,
You
skill
carry-
checks.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
You-
Lots of opportunities.
Carrying capacity, I suppose.
Carrying
You already-
capacity is a good one.
Maybe weird skill
skill
already
checks.
have
checks.
acrobatics though.
True.
And there's horses.
Grappling,
You don't have to carry about it.
climbing.
Almost.
True. Climbing is almost
I mean-
exclusively athletics most of the time.
Just be,
Yeah,
Western
I mean,
Europe.
s-
Simple as.
do you have any other questions about the prices of things?
That's not happening.
Actually, how much does Scroll of Fireball cost?
How
That's
much are the
five,
potions?
expensive.
five for the scroll of fireball. Roll 5d10. The potions cost 50 gold.
What do you
What are
have?
they? How much
It's
are they?
potions of healing.
35.
So 2d4 plus 2.
The fireball scroll will cost 350 gold for the scroll.
Each.
Yeah, each. And then the
I
potion
assume
of
they're
healing.
at 3rd level.
Yeah, the potions of
horseshoes
healing
are
are
kinda
4d4 plus 4, and it's 50 gold per potion.
What? That's the basic one?
No, that's not the basic one, but that's what they have, and that's what they're
Oh,
charging
okay.
for it.
I was confused.
Wait, 50 gold for 44 plus how much?
4.
I'm buying
4d4
one of
plus
those.
4. Okay,
No
sure.
fucking
Can we get
shot.
the horseshoes of a Zephyr and find 2 Minotaurs? But
So
get 2
base.
flying.
Well, those are actually minotaur shoes,
No.
not horseshoes. Checkmate.
In fact, I'll be buying 1 Scroll of Fireball. Wait, can anybody use a Scroll of Fireball?
Anyone.
The way that, Hard Control.
Like any
You,
caster?
just, you have
Yeah.
to.
Well, you don't need to be a
even
caster at
just-
all.
Just
Not even
anyone.
Literally
even like some
anyone can
random
use it.
schmoove on the street.
Correct. Even a
That's
random
why
peasant.
there's-
Does it take any
generally
special
used.
components? I don't
No.
know. Normally it doesn't.
Nope.
No, it includes it.
Okay, making sure.
It's just a free
I
one-time
think
use of
50
this
gold for a 44 plus 4 though is obscene.
Great, sure. Add it to
Or
your sheet then.
multi-use if you copy it to your book.
stuff. Well, the equivalent is no healing. Or I mean, the
That's
other
true.
option.
I think I get more than that with my fucking like second wind.
Yeah, I
definitely-
don't have any problem giving them out like candy because they're really not that strong. So, 50 gold per.
Yeah, that's,
Um,
I guess like in a
I'm
life
buying
or
one of
death
those.
is good.
I'm buying one
Sure.
of those potions.
Great.
so
What are they potions of lesser healing?
Technically
Minor
greater.
it's a Severus. You basically just bought a grenade for $300,000.
Yes.
What? No, I bought a potion of.
Oh, you didn't buy the fireball
Yeah,
thing?
also by the scroll.
Oh, you didn't buy the
I
fireball
was
scroll?
really thinking about it.
You could. Like you said, you could buy a grenade for $300,000.
I mean, in a world where grenades can only be like suppose grenades can only be.
No, you can buy an
wielded by
actual
small-
gunpowder grenade for like way less than that.
Oh.
And how much does that?
And
Or how
does
much
it-
damage does that do though?
Way less, and also they're not sold in the Empire,
that's
so
Yeah, 86 is amazing.
it's pretty
What cultures use the most
I mean-
gunpowder?
good. The Delian League and the colonies.
Really? All
Yeah.
Sarah doesn't?
Al-Sarah
What?
uses cannons, not guns.
You're gonna have to explain. You're gonna have to explain yourself. On that
Yeah,
one.
it's super easy. So in ancient China, well, ancient 1500s, well, actually, the 1200s is when they really started this. They made wooden
Nice.
cannons, but they'd actually never miniaturized it into firearms because they didn't have proper metalworking tools to do that. Because they tried it, and every time the handheld firearms would explode. So they used wooden cannons and fireworks, which we see as now as like the cute things, but they
Oh.
use them in like the sense of firing
I
them
see.
over walls into settlements. And in the same way, Al-Sarah has access to one of the biggest gunpowder reserves in the entire world, but they don't have advanced bronze or steel casting, so they can't make cannon. They can't make personal firearms that won't explode, so they just make big old cannons instead. Whereas the
But
Delian
the
League
cannons-
has all those things, so they make cannons
the
and personal
cannons are-
firearms.
The cannons are still made out of bronze.
They're made by wizards.
Okay, so they use gunpowder nonetheless.
Yes, they use gunpowder, and they're just cast out of one piece of solid steel.
Oh, that.
So they're
sounds
way
horrific.
stronger than an actual cannon.
Make-
Yeah.
Oh, this is a weird question.
Sure.
If thieves' tools were made out of mithril, would that make a difference?
Yes, it'd give you a +1.
Okay.
Yo. Okay,
How much?
that-
How much for
that
half a
I-
pound of mithril again?
30 gold.
Yeah, I'm buying
There you go.
+1 thieves' tools for 30 gold.
Perfect.
Chatted.
These can be purchased from either the Department of Civility or Coin, and since you're neutral with both of those factions, you won't have any trouble getting them.
Yeah. 0.5 on these now.
Is it worth 2,100 gold to get 24 AC?
Is it like prop +1 mods? Does that work?
Prop +1 mod. Yes, I think, I don't know if prop is the prefix it likes, though. Yeah, I don't think it's prop. Fuck, what is it?
I should have
Maybe it's
expertise with
mods.
this.
Oh, you know what it is? It's not going to work because it only does that when it's yeah, just
Oh,
do
I think I
mods and
found
do
it.
make the mods 1 in Thieves Tools.
Yeah, I think I found it.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna try and roll it again.
wait, do you have expertise in Thieves Tools?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Why would you have expertise?
Because I'm a
He's a
rogue and
rogue.
I get
Well,
cast feature.
yeah,
wait,
but you
let me
already
check,
have expertise
actually.
in 3 other
Yeah, let me check.
skills, which is why I'm
So
asking.
at level, yeah, that's what I'm checking right now.
Yeah, level
so
1 you
level
get
one-
Expertise in-
2.
in two things.
Okay, so I have expertise right now in sleight of hand, stealth, and arcana.
Yep.
So level 1, I'd have sleight of hand in some one of these, and then at level 6 level you gain 2 more.
Okay, great. Then yeah, you do have Thieves Tools.
So I
And
have full
I'm just going to
expertise in
quickly
total,
just
which
add it
sums
to the
up.
thing, and there you go. It's working now.
Okay, cool.
Also, it's half a pound of weight now. Perfect. All working. Okay, for the purposes of moving forward and getting a little bit into the next arc, final call
He's,
for if anyone wants to purchase anything.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Is he gonna buy the fucking
The
horse
cloak?
armor?
No,
It's
he
fine.
can't afford that.
Oh, no, the
No,
cloak.
He already has the armor.
I already bought that, nerd. I think I think I'm gonna buy the cloak of protection.
Okay, sure. Drop 2,100.
Oh, remember when we were sailing to Gala Isle on like a boat,
Yeah.
and the captain had like a weird box that was like clearly smuggled goods,
Yeah.
and I stole a brooch with diamonds, and I still have that on my character sheet?
Yeah.
How much were the diamonds worth on that thing?
I don't remember. So I'm just going to have you roll a 1d2 because there's literally only 2 values it could be.
Chad. Absolute.
1d2. 2.
It's 300 gold.
What was the other option? 50.
No, it's going to be 5. Because it's either... there's 2 possibilities, which is one, he was smuggling actually valuable cargo, in which case it would be Revivify level, or the second one is that he was smuggling shitty knockoff merchandise that he could sell at another port for pretending that it's really good. In which case it would be practically, worthless. But...
Yes.
One of those seems way more profitable than the other.
Well, both of them are really profitable because you just go to someone who doesn't know shit and you say, hey, this is really good. It'll, give your family good luck and sell for like 5
Can
gold.
I give the brooch to Renesmee?
Sure, but the brooch has no magic. It's just a 300 GP diamond.
Yes, which is amazingly
Oh, it's
useful
given
because
her
druids can
jewelry
cast
now.
Revivify.
Yeah.
And this would
Thank
allow
you.
you one casting of Revivify to revive someone in case they die in a battle.
Thank you.
So you can
All
have a
right,
brooch with a
so-
diamond worth 300 gold on you.
With that,
Woo!
we are going to move forward. You guys are going to receive communications. Since you're in the city, you'll all receive just plain old letters from a courier informing you that on, well, actually today, you guys need to report to a prosecutor's office within the Department of Civility.
Okay.
And we'll have to quickly be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
We're roughly expecting this.
yeah.
Al. Oh, are we not taking just a short break, please?
No.
Oh, sorry. Anyway.
We're going to continue forward because it's going to take a second to get there, and I want to get the next arc started this session. So you guys make your way to the Department of Civility. This would be technically the morning after your little powwow regarding the purchasing of items. And you'll head into the Department of Civility. The rain will have finally abated as your long rest ends. And heading into the Department of Civility, you will make your way through winding staircases and things such as that until you arrive at a conference room. Heading inside, there are 3 people inside of here. There's Consul Lars Ignia, your direct superior, and the person that ostensibly you did this all for, assuming Tullius wasn't lying to you. Barrister Titius Lartia, who you previously met and gave him your full list of charges and information. And then Archimandrite Fabian, Archimandrite is a religious title, so he's a priest. These 3 people are already seated, and as you enter, Barrister Titius will sort of take over and say, "Please, judges, have a seat.
I bullshit.
This is all a bit of a informal hearing prior to the trial. I've already spoken with your superior here, Consul Lars, and gotten his side of things. But I just want to ask some more details and inform you as to the progress of the case. If you have any questions once I'm done, feel free to let me know. Firstly, Galerius has been detained by the Department of Civility since March 11th. We've gone about verifying all the information provided to us. We've confirmed plenty of the details and found some further incriminating evidence. However, in preparation for the trial, we'll just need deposed statements from each of you. They don't need to be your exact words. This is mostly informal. There's no barristers for you, as I'm sure you can tell, and we don't have a zone of truth cast here, so, feel free to speak freely. As for technically, I need to inform you, Archimandrite Fabian here is the representation for Consul Galerius. He's his barrister. So keep that in mind while you speak, though I don't think he'll give us any interruptions. And the Archimandrite has the same sort of neutral expression he's had this whole time. And the barrister sits down and says, "Well, this is going to take a while, so before I start, is there any questions you all have?"
No?
All right, then. Well, this is for all of you, so I will need separate answers, so don't all speak at once. I guess we'll just go left to right here, so, Grania. Actually, he looks around. I believe this is the mute one, right? Do we have any interpreters? Can any of you...
I can for her if you'd like, yes.
Are you certain?
I'm
We
not-
can call for a more official one.
I'm not,
I think a more efficient one would be appropriate. We're still learning.
He looks at Grania. You speak Imperial Sign Language, yes?
Hold on.
All right, that should be easy enough. I think I have a secretary. He walks out of the room. You hear him shouting out into the hall. And a moment later, he returns with a young woman. She walks inside, has a little, slate tablet. She sits in a chair next to Grania. She gives you, a respectful nod. And then the barrister says, "All right, well, Lady Judge..." And one sec, he'll say full official names. So he will say, where is your goofy long-ass name? There it is. Lady Judge Grania Anticia Gaius Fabricia, were you directed or assisted by Consul Lars Ignia during your investigation into Consul Galerius?
She'll sign no.
Wonderful. If you need me to repeat the question, let me know, but Lord Judge Severus Octavius Aulus Canidia, same question to you.
We're expected to say no here, right? Out of character.
Yeah.
This is probably if
So
we
this
say yes.
incriminates the person that basically hired us. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
and
we
also
Yeah.
we didn't.
I
we
wasn't sure if it
didn't-
would be like illegal for us to have like at some point have help from him.
It would be illegal.
Generally, yes, because
Which
he's
is why our-
basically fighting
He is
for
our
a
handler,
same
right?
job. He's basically going to take this guy's job. So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I just say no then.
And Renesmee says no. Maximus.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just to be
Any
clear,
whistleblowers?
out of character, because I know there's some confusion in all the legalese. You all do know that you're lying, right? Out of character.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. I just didn't. I know Maximus is kind of a goody two shoes sometimes, so I just wanted to clarify. Okay, next question the barrister will ask: did you falsify any evidence in this proceeding? And he'll start with Grania.
She'll say no.
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 Set.
No.
All right. How long had you been aware of Arminus's involvement with Galerius's family before the raid on his estate? I'll start with you, Lady Judge Grania.
She'll
Out
sign
of
who that
character.
is.
You'll sign what?
She doesn't know who that is.
Okay. He will, I think, raise an eyebrow, but move on. Lord Judge Severus?
I
Out of
think
character. Was it a couple of days?
It was about 6 hours, I believe. Depending on how you look at it. It depends what your cover story is. If your story is that you were studying him for days and days, like, so Arminus is the wizard guy that killed Zenius. So, I don't know is the answer.
Oh, Armidas is the dude that killed.
Yeah, so it depends your cover story. If your cover story is that you were investigating him for like days or maybe even weeks, and then eventually you found the connection to Galerius, then your answer would be different. But if the answer is we just stumbled across him and then stumbled into Galerius, then it'd be 6 hours, which is
Well,
the
we
real
didn't
answer.
really just stumble across him because we saw him at that
Yeah, the night
cafeteria.
before.
Well, didn't I see him the night before, which is longer
Yeah.
than 6 hours, right?
That's true. Yeah, one day, I guess, would be
Okay.
a legit answer.
About a day.
All right. When you say about a day, could you give a rough time estimate?
About one fucking day to the next.
Approximately from the evening of the day before the raid.
All right, thank you. And Lady Judge Renesmee?
Yes, approximately one day.
All right, and Lord Judge Maximus.
When I was informed we were going on the way.
All right. This next question is a bit lengthy, so I'll feel free to repeat it if you need me to. How specifically did you learn about Aurelius's, I know it's been a couple weeks, so that is Galerius's brother. How did you learn about his desertion? We've confirmed it through records, but there's sort of an open question as to how you discovered this. I think I'll start with Lord Judge Maximus here.
I have access to the same open records you do.
Well, his records are censured. We were only able to learn about his desertion via uncensoring them.
I see what you mean. Yes, I conferred with some of his acquaintances from the legions. As
Oh,
you know, I fought in
wonderful.
legions, so I simply talked to them.
Could you provide us with some names?
Let's see.
You and
I
Maximus
don't
know the
know.
exact same thing here. It almost perfectly matches up. Real life, it's been like 3 weeks. For Maximus, it's been
Oh,
about 3
yeah.
weeks.
No, that was
Well, that is
3 weeks
unfortunate.
ago.
Where'd you meet
People
them,
that I
if you
met.
could?
That I believe Maximus will be brave.
Yeah, it was a shithole bar down near the docks that is a meetings point of the, I think it's the 5th Legion?
Eighth?
Or is it the 8th?
No, it's
8th,
the
8th. Yeah, it's the 8th.
Bar down by the docks where members of the 8th Legion.
And he will record the name of the bar, which you will surely say. And he'll say, wonderful. Well, actually, that whole inquiry is moot then. No need to ask the rest of you. Well, that's all the questions that I have. He looks across the table at the, allegedly, the defense of Galerius, and the Archimandrite sort of shakes his head. Well, the defense has no questions for you, so that's it for us. The trial is going to be on the 1st of April, so you are to stay in the city. I just have to tell you this. It is a crime punishable under death if you leave the premises of Mythos over the next 2 days. Again, formalities. I think that's all I have for you. Thank you again, lords and lady judges, for your service to the Empire, and I think we got this one in the bag.
Good
I
to
think
hear.
while he was
Thank you
talking,
very much.
Granny wanted to sign and ask where she learned sign language.
the interpreter will look at you and feel like she doesn't know what to do. She's supposed to translate for you, but clearly that was a question directed at her, and she'll just sign back at you, my father.
Okay, she seems content with that answer.
Okay. The barrister and the archimandrite, the defense, but the two of them will leave. The prosecutor and the defense will both leave the room. The interpreter will leave, leaving you guys in the room with Consul Lars Ignia. Because he hasn't seen you guys since this whole incident started, because technically he was not in the city. You know, he had no connection to any of the incidents.
We just said that.
Yeah,
So.
and and you just confirmed that under oath, yeah. And so he will stay and say, the Consul Lars will sort of linger in the room for a moment and say, I heard that you stayed at my villa during the investigation. I'm glad that I could help take down such a vile man. And I hear that my name is in the running for the next Deputy Autarch of Faith. So I think that it's going to turn out well for all of us.
Well, congratulations.
Of course. My victory is a victory for not only the Empire, but also all of you. I'll not forget that you did a great service in taking out my corrupt and vile predecessor.
As you should have been.
And I also issued a special request that I remain the Master of Judges and Inquisitors. So, rising tide raises all ships.
Thank you very much.
Of course. And with a smile that is horrifically smug, he will leave the room. And you guys have technically 2 more days before the trial, but anything you want to do has to be done in the city.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do that whole penalty of death thing. Always an option.
No.
That sounds like fun.
That'd be
We have
want a
we've
penalty
revivified
of
now,
death.
so
This would be permanent death, not
well.
not
How do
revivifiable
they-
out of.
How do they kill you to prevent? Like, is it also designed to prevent against true resurrection, or is it?
No, it's not really. It's not, like it's just a normal execution, and they just put your body like in a pit somewhere. Like, ironically, literally the best way to present something from getting true resurrected, it's not disintegrating it, it's not atomizing it and sending it to all the corners of the world. It's just to bury in a deep hole and then cover it up.
It's like
Yeah.
If somebody
actually-
got the death penalty and got revived, what happens?
You just kill them again.
Oh, but they already died. They already
Yeah, it
served
doesn't
the
matter.
penalty.
You just keep killing them. It's true death. Like, in the law. I'm
Unless-
sure that, like, 1,300 years ago, someone managed to get out of this by doing a revive and be like, well, I got past the death penalty. So then they
Wait, you
changed the
said
legal codes to say true
You said
death.
there's an instant pardon if they're divinely resurrected.
That is different. But yes, there is an instant pardon for divine resurrection.
That's different, though.
When a mass
Yeah,
murder
So-
doesn't get
that does make
resurrected.
sense.
So true. With that, though, since we sort of zoom 3 days forward into the future to the day of the trial. On the day of the trial, you make your way to the Court of Holy Justice. Architecturally, it resembles a circular shrine scaled up to a great size. Rather than a traditional courtroom with a judge and a witness stand on one side, then both parties and then the crowd, this chamber is circular. The accused, Consul Galerius, sits in a booth in the center of the room, judged from all sides. Surrounding that booth, entrapping the accuser, is a bench with a panel of 11 judges, 5 archimandrites, 5 praetors, and the ecclesiarch of Mithdosica. This panel of judges needs to come to a unanimous decision for any punishment to be handed down. Past the panel of 11 judges is the audience gallery, in the 300-degree arc around the accused, with only the entrance to the court kept empty of seating. The atmosphere within the courtroom is quiet and respectful. The judges have yet to arrive, but Consul Galerius sits in the booth. His head hangs low. He shows no sign of being physically harmed, despite the horrific crimes he's committed, and he still wears purple, bearing the pride of a consul. Guarding every entrance and exit are a mixture of imperial guards and paladins of various holy orders subordinated to the Great Department of Faith. Their faces are flat, without expression. Your seats have been predetermined. You are to sit in the first row of the audience alongside other witnesses, and the family of the accused. Already there are a number of witnesses, servants belonging to Galerius's household, a school teacher, a preacher, and Galerius's personal valet. There is also his family. His brother Aurelius wears shackles and prisoner's garb. His wife wears fine clothes, but her hands are shackled as well. The daughter wears black, as if this were a funeral, and has an empty look in her eyes. The young Titius Titius, I think his name is Titus, not Titius, seems to understand something has gone wrong by his dour face, but still wears a bright pastel overcoat. The eldest son, Antonius, who you had yet to see, sits apart from the rest of his family, a hollow expression on his face. You guys all get a chance to sit down in the front row. The proceedings of the trial are open to the public, and they do indeed come. The conviction of a consul is a very rare thing. Soon enough, the whole of the court is filled with onlookers. The seating is quickly filled, and perhaps another 100 fit into the court, standing. The doors are then swiftly sealed by imperial guards. A silence settles over the chambers. A side chamber opens, and out walks the 11 judges. The 5 archimandrites are lavished in their religious garb, great white cloaks with diadems of gold, staffs, and ceremonial swords. 3 of their eyes glow with golden light of Aurelian soul. Next comes the ecclesiarch of Mithdosica. He wears purple robes with golden trim. He holds only one item, the Summa Theologica. His eyes are pure gold and carry light before him. He looks divine. Trailing behind the priest are 5 praetors. They wear togas and carry gavels, the standard uniform of praetors, the courtroom judges of the empire rather than the more applied judges that you guys are. Everyone in the audience rises, and after the judge sit at their chairs, the ecclesiarch of Mithdosica stands to speak. Praised be the Omniscient. Sanctified be his appellation. May this tribunal be convened under his celestial benevolence, guided by his vigilant sagacity. The defendant is Galerius Agrippa Manius Ignia Captiosin. He stands accused of heresy, blasphemy, blasphemous negligence, treason, and corruption. He was afforded the opportunity for legal counsel, yet he declined to avail himself of any advocate presented to him. Thus, he has renounced his right to address this court. Let the specific charges against him be vocalized, and the impartiality of the divine flame be administered. And what follows is a parade of various witnesses. First, they call your boss, Consul Lars Ignia. He speaks of, knowing Galerius since they were young men, and how he never expected that Galerius could do such a horrible thing. He'd always seen the light, the good in his friend, and is very sad to see what's happened to him. It's true tragedy. Next, the servants of Galerius are called. Each of them attests to the fact that Aurelius Ignia was a fuck-up. They speak of late nights Aurelius spent drinking, abuse of fire moss. They speak of Galerius always covering up for the mistakes of his younger brother. Galerius's valet speaks of seeing his boss hiding a satchel embossed with the jagged star. The event that you guys witnessed is in the form of a fly. His valet also saw, but at least he claims to have seen it. There's no zone of truth in this courtroom. Who knows what was actually seen? Next is called the daughter's tutor. He speaks of how once, when the daughter was 9 years old, she asked him what was the purpose of worshipping Aurelian soul. Of course, the tutor quickly shut down such heresy, but now seeing the charges leveled against her father, he wonders if perhaps the daughter was influenced to heresy as well. The next person to be called is Galerius's personal priest. He speaks about how Galerius was constantly struggling with his faith and his loyalty, and you guys would know that there's like an expectation of privacy with your personal priest. You should be able to confess almost anything to him, and it should be totally privileged. And yet this personal priest of Galerius, just begins to lay out every single detail. Troubles with his wife, concern about his child's education, his struggles with his own faith and that of his family. And next, Barrister Titius, who is representing the offense, is going to call Renesmee to the stand. You are called to a witness stand, and the barrister will begin to speak. Hi, judges. As you have heard from countless witnesses before this fine lady judge, the moral failings of Galerius are without question. But of course, we live in a society of law and strict legal precedent. We cannot simply investigate a man for his moral failing. Instead, we must look at what led to this investigation opening up in the first place, which is why I've called Lady Judge Renesmee de Thaljo Fabricia. I have here her recorded statements, but I'd like you to hear her words, so I will ask her the questions again. Lady Judge Renesmee de Thaljo Fabricia, did you falsify any evidence in the course of this investigation?
No.
How long had you been aware of Arminus's involvement with Galerius and his family?
Roughly 1 day.
And did any party tell you to look into Consul Galerius specifically, or did you find him through your investigations into Arminus?
We found Galerius during our investigations into Arminus.
All right. And just for the purposes of the record, during the Battle of Fort Romulus on the southern Imperial frontier, were you commended for impeccable actions in saving the Empire?
Out of character, the answer is yes, yeah?
That would indeed be the answer. Yeah, you guys killed a necromancer.
Yeah. Yes.
And were you appointed a judge of the Empire by the Emperor himself?
Yes, I was.
Thank you, Lady Judge. I have no further questions.
I will get up and I will give a valiant nod and walk away.
Yeah, there is no defense, so there is no cross-examination. Next will be called up the Department's of War Records Keeper. He presents the uncensured document of Aurelius, his horrific service record, and then he presents the censored one, which he also has a paper trail proving that Galerius was the one to request its covering up. Again, the reality of half these documents, who the fuck knows, because there's no zone of truth. But he presents it as if, there is a clear paper trail showing Galerius.
Evidence.
Yeah.
Take it at its word.
Yeah. Next is called up Aurelius Ignia, the dude himself. He has a pre-written statement. The author of the statement is not exactly clear. I mean, presumably Aurelius wrote it, but who knows? And it is a full confession of guilt. It is lengthy. It is almost 20 minutes. It speaks of him as a child. It speaks of him as a young man, and makes a pattern of behavior in which Galerius made up for any mistakes that Aurelius did. And then, one of the central claims in this sort of confession is that when he was besieged at the fortress of Slat Batosk, he managed to get a communication through to his brother Galerius and asked what he should do. And his brother Galerius told him to desert. The truth of that, who knows, but it is a massive claim because it means that Galerius is entirely guilty of treason. Additionally, he says that when he returned to his home, his brother told him to go look for heretical influences like the Scholars of Starry Wisdom. Lastly, the final witness to be called is Galerius's wife. She is tearful throughout the entire course of her questioning, but it's pretty short. She denounces her husband, admits that he is a heretic, a traitor, an enemy of the Empire. She says she had no knowledge of these heretical actions, but confirms that her husband is one, which kind of makes no sense. There's no way for her to know if he's a heretic or not, and yet she says that she knows he is, and says that her and her 2 children have nothing to do with any of this and asks for them to be spared sentencing. And the meeting of the judge panel in an actual trial could take days and days and days, but this one takes about 30 seconds. The judges look at each other, they mumble briefly, and then one of the praetors stands. He's wearing a toga, and he speaks to the audience within the court, slowly swiveling so that everyone may hear his speech. The guilt of Galerius is overwhelming, and yet thus far he has failed to confess his innocence. He thus deprives himself of even the slightest honor and dishonors his entire family and clan. Thus, before the full verdict is delivered, we give Galerius a final chance. The praetor turns to Galerius, who still has this sullen, empty expression he has had throughout the whole trial. Confess to your crimes, consul. Admit what you have done before the people in the eyes of the Almighty. Do not further dishonor your family and risk their freedom as well as yours. A confession cannot fully make up for your crimes. You will still be struck from the record of consuls, your honor will be taken, and you will suffer the fate of any heretic. You will become a citizen, no longer a senator, but your family shall live on. The whole courtroom goes quiet, waiting for Galerius to speak. He stands. His voice is very hoarse, almost as if he's been screaming. So despite his appearance seeming untouched,
How odd.
perhaps a couple of healing spells were used to, improve his appearance. And he says, I am guilty. I have committed treason by threatening the faithful foundations of this empire.
I have committed heresy by allowing for words which besmirch the Almighty within my home. I have committed negligent heresy for allowing my brother to fall to temptation. He keeps his head low as he speaks. After his confession, jeers exit from the audience, and his daughter begins to weep. Several praetors slam their gavels against the bench to silence the audience. Imperial guards even remove one man who begins to grab an object from the floor to throw at Consul Galerius. And finally, the Ecclesiarch of Mithdosica stands, and he speaks. By the lips of the heretics, his transgressions have been made known. Therefore, in accordance with the prescribed retribution for heresy committed by an individual of his standing, he shall endure the following. His name shall be expunged from all the registrars, and every accolade he once possessed shall be stripped away. Only in instances pertaining to the public remembrance of his crimes shall his name ever be uttered. He shall undergo the purifying flames until life departs from his mortal frame, unless the intervention of the Omniscient is bestowed upon him. His possessions and riches shall be confiscated by the great Department of Faith for the betterment of all men and women within the Empire. With a swift motion, the Ecclesiarch slams the Summa Theologica against the judge's bench, concluding the trial. And the witnesses that are in prison are guided away. Most of the audience begins to slowly trickle out. And you guys have a couple moments to reflect. And I don't think Grania really understands what's going on, so I won't direct this question towards her. I guess be the other three of you that are present, Severus, Maximus, Renesmee. Do you feel good about what happened?
No, I think that Renesmee's stomach is like in hurdles. She feels nauseous. She feels clammy. Seeing his family sitting there that had like nothing to do with it, and also Aurelius coming up and like fully confessing to everything. The fact that they're probably like psychologically mindfuck torturing these people, it's making her feel so uneasy, not just because of the tactics being so gruesome, but also because if she was put in that box and asked questions like this, she'd be dead. And so would Zenius. And so would
Severus, what about you? You've inflicted a great number of brutal things on behalf of the Empire. You've assassinated people who are citizens. You've done espionage, which all of these are crimes, and yet you do them without much concern because you are told it's for the good of the Empire. How does this feel?
I don't care.
Okay. And Maximus, what about you? You've never been in this sort of courtroom style setting. You've done court-martials. You've been there for court-martials. You've condemned men to worse fates, again, in court-martials. Oh, yes. But this is something different. How does he feel about it?
This feels great, dude. You got a 2-for-1 here. He got a heretic, and he gets like a big-ass like reward from his like job state. This is great.
How does he feel about Aurelius not getting any punishment?
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Only Galerius was punished. His entire family was spared any sentencing.
Aurelius should have been punished.
I have faith that the representatives of the Almighty know what they're doing, and there is a very good reason that he has not been given a punishment.
I mean, there are like
for other purposes.
There are 4 clerics on that judge tribunal. If the Almighty disagreed with what was happening, there'd probably be something that would happen, surely.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, I believe this is the will of the people and of the Almighty. Great day all around, folks. Let's take it some
All right, well then, you guys walk out of the courtroom. Severus neutral, Grania neutral because she doesn't know what's happening. Renesmee sickened, and Maximus whistling a happy little tune.
Fucking elated, dude. This is great.
And you head back into the great city of Mithdosica. You receive a letter, courier message from Consul Lars Ignia, informing you that you guys have 3 additional weeks of downtime. And then he has some tasks for you. He also includes an uncharacteristic good job. He is quite literally, I don't think he's ever once, other than when you meet him in person, said like, hey, you guys did good. But he says, you have served the Empire well. And yeah, so you guys have until the 17th, which is 16 days away, to vibe. Additionally,
that's 3 weeks.
It's almost 3 weeks. Yes, you do get a little bit of XP.
That's lame.
Some small other details, because I may forget them later. In terms of the legal proceedings, a day later, all additional charges against Aurelius will be dropped. 2 days later, all charges against Floridia, which is Galerius' wife, will be dropped. And a week later, Galerius will be executed. You don't need to attend it, but he will be burned alive.
I'm
going to
attending.
make a point of attending.
Okay, yeah, it's a huge event. The last time a consul was killed, like executed, was about 80 years ago during the Light Wars. So it is a, literal once in a lifetime. Yeah, once in a lifetime event.
You gotta go. It's yeah, exactly.
There are tens of thousands who gather to see him burn alive. And whatever they do within those dark vaults in the basement of the Department of Faith is very effective, because he doesn't do some last minute brave speech or something. He is just dead silent even until the flames begin to consume him. So they're really good at breaking people's brains.
Even through the flames getting to him, through the whole.
No, just as the flame. Okay. Once the flames touch him, he starts screaming.
Okay.
But after that, but before that, he's silenced throughout basically the whole thing. Even though he gets a chance for his final words, these are guaranteed legal rights. He says nothing.
Do people throw things at him?
Of course, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, such a thing is permitted, because it's not like you're going to kill him more than the flames will.
That's that's a good point.
And they call these purifying flames?
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the nicknames of the Almighty, well, not even a nickname, just one of his names, he has a great number, is the Divine Spark, also known as the Divine Flame. And that is because the image in every single Church of Aurelian Soul is not a man. Aurelian Soul is not a dude. He is fire. He is light. He is good. And so the ultimate representation of him is fire. And so the idea is that if somehow someone were to survive the fire consuming them, or they are brought back via divine magic, they are chosen, and so they are pure. So if you survive getting burned alive, then you're good.
Is he brought back?
No.
Have you rolled his
Megalo.
1d100?
It doesn't matter. He can't be brought back.
Oh, sad.
There are ways to prevent such things, which the Department of Faith participates in.
So it doesn't matter if the Almighty acts.
No, you could be a level 20 cleric with 80 piety, and the Department of Faith can prevent you from coming back.
How do they mechanically?
I'm not telling you that. It's a very strong ability.
That sounds incredibly fucked up.
Damn.
Well,
That
if
must
it's
be
within their
on
legal
levels.
doctrine,
Wait,
That's
so,
that's nearly as powerful as a god.
it's pretty strong.
that isn't that just more powerful than God? Because
Kind of.
Preventing something from happening is usually easier than making something specific happen, right?
Yeah, preventing
to
a
say?
resurrection. could
It all
be-
depends. It could be a really cheeky little spell interaction. It could be a single magical item. You just don't know. So, and I don't even think your characters would expect this. It's just interesting how every single heretic, who are all clerics, most of them, any prophet of any note in Imperial history is a cleric, and when they get burned alive for heresy, none of them have come back, which is somewhat notable. The only time people actually come back from getting killed is when they get they're a thief and they get executed, or they're a murderer or something like that. But when you actually get burned alive by the Department of Faith, they never come back.
I wonder if they make them sign a pact with a demon or something.
I guess that absolutely wouldn't be suspicious. It's
Not really,
would
yeah,
be
because they're
anything
heretics.
that-
They're foes of Aurelian
yeah.
Soul. Of course, they wouldn't come back.
That would seem weird.
I wonder if they're doing weird fucking crazy experiments on those people just before they die. Might as well.
How much,
Force them to make a pact with a demon? Haha.
Yes,
How much
so they
XP
can get more shit.
The XP that you receive is not going to be a ton. It is 1,000.
damn it!
Hog, level up. I'm joking.
Oh my god! Fuck. So
All
close,
right.
dude.
Well, we didn't start the next arc, but we did finish Matter of Faith, which is good. So, it's technically 4 minutes early, but the next thing is a whole thing. So if there's anything really quickly that you guys want to do during the long rest, or if we can just skip forward 3 weeks and do some Grania proficiencies, that would be good.
Well, it might be good to dig up the pearls.
Yeah, and you guys have plenty of time. Hell, you even have time to go to, Hago and back. So I think we'll save that for next session.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of long rest stuff, and then the trial of Galerius. Got a lot done.
I'm getting so
Wait.
close to finishing my proficiency. Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, if we have 3 weeks, would that be enough to go to Hago?
Well, it's 16 days. It takes 12. No, it would not be. Never mind. I troll
Such.
faced you. It's
I
24
really
days
want to
there
go
and
to
back.
Hago.
Pay for a teleportation roll, and then you can do it.
Yeah, I'm not that rich.
Fucking
Well,
Jack.
Also,
no.
I'd need Maximus's money to be able to pay stuff.
Wait, no,
for
Maximus
stuff in
paid for
Hago.
like $2,000 for something, so he's broke now.
Yeah,
Wait.
well, okay, I don't know about
Wait, you
growth.
paid $2,000 for something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid
buffoon.
2,100 gold. What do you mean? my
Local
buffoon?
protection.
You just spent like
Is
4K on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Giga Chad.
It is my money.
No,
Well,
it's not. It's the
Yeah.
parties.
Well, is it though? It's on a sheet. You guys got to work out a more equitable income distribution, okay? That's something you guys got to manage. Okay, yeah. So next session we will get the party forward to the next arc. We'll introduce Yogi's new character, and yeah, we'll do all that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Last minute, I think we're good. Oh, real quick. This is just like a general note. In terms of, this is mostly for Dota / people communicating with Dota. With your levels of proficiency, I think that for most basic language concepts, you're totally fine. It may come out in like some form of like broken English, you know, when you're trying to communicate with
That's how I've
Grania.
been translating it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think 99% of the stuff you're going to encounter should translate just fine. So we won't have to worry about that. But that is all I got. I think I'm good for next week. I'm going to double check. Yes, I am. So I will see you all then. Bye-bye.